Everybody. Glad to have everybody in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have all of you wonderful people tuning in. But we're going to have to get deep tonight. We're going to have a deep conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just waiting on you guys to pile on in the room. Hope you guys had a productive week so far. The week is almost done. It's almost the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. This week is going by pretty fast. It is what it is. What's up, HT the Giga? Is that white supremacist? What's going on, HT? What's going on in white supremacist land? Let me talk to him real quick before I start cooking. All right, let me and watch your language. Watch your language. Don't come in talking crazy, using profanities and epithets. Talk like you got some sense and you act like you're not in a trailer park. HT, what's going on, man?
All right, I'm going to give you some names. Aaron Lopez, Moses Levy, Jacob Franks, Isaac Levy, Nathan.
Those are slave owners. I know those names.
Let me continue. Justin Bosch, John Abrams, Henry Kruger, Jacob Phoenix, Mordell Gomez, David Gomez, Mordecai Gomez, Nathan Martin,
Slave owners. Okay, these are slave owners.
Abraham
Familiar. Okay,
Layel,
what's your point?
William DeWolf, James DeWolf.
Okay, we've established that those are slave owners. I know that those are the name of slave owners. Why are you bringing this up? Let's get to the point. Go ahead, HT. Why are you bringing up
You
Jewish?
cut me off when I was reading all the Jewish slave ships?
Right, right. I know that. I know that there were Jewish slave owners.
Isn't my
But
connection messed up here? I'm going to come in on my phone here. I think it's my laptop. Hold on.
all right, what's your point, ma'am?
Can you hear me,
I
Tariq?
can hear you.
Obviously
No,
not. It's my phone. I'll be back.
okay. All right. Now, this guy's a major white supremacist, but he likes to deflect on Jewish slave owners. Okay, what does that mean? So there were Jewish slave owners. There were Anglo slave owners. There were a couple of Asian slave owners. A lot of people came over here who were not black and became slave owners. So you're not saying anything phenomenal or profound, but they were all under the thumb of white supremacy. All right. So you're not wiggling out of that. You can try to deflect as much as you can try, but they were all under the thumb of white supremacy. They were all operating in conjunction with white supremacy. All right, HT, let's try it again. And we're not going to go too long with bad faith arguments. Right.
How come Ron DeSantis flew to Israel to pass a bill in Jerusalem
Uh-huh.
to make it a 5-year felony for me to pass out these flyers from gtvflyers.com and make it a hate crime? If white
Be-
supremacists,
because I want to answer that is because the white supremacists look at you as an off-code white supremacist. That's why. They look at you as an off-code white supremacist and you are a liability. We know that you're a white supremacist, but you're the cowardly off-code kind that just kind of crashes out because you have nothing to lose. So the dominant white supremacist society, they don't want to associate themselves with you because you put a spotlight on everything, which is what you're not supposed to do in the system of white supremacy now. Part of white supremacy now is denial. So, like you're trying to deny white supremacy, but you are white supremacists. You pass out white supremacist doctrines and flyers and stuff. So, you're not very good at hiding it. Also, you attack black kids. So, you do real cowardly stuff. I saw the video of you trying to fight some black kids in Atlanta. Where was that where you're trying to fight black?
you gotta get your facts straight. Me trying to fight little nigglets? No,
Okay,
that's not
watch
what I do.
language.
No.
Well, why were you arguing with black children? What was that? Was that is Is that the Aryan God thing now? You guys have fallen so low. You
No,
got
no. What happened was there was a group of little baby nigglets crossing the street without using the crosswalk, and one of my friends called him a nigger, and the kid threatened to kill all the white guys. The cops didn't arrest the kids for terrorist threats, and you could thank those little baby nigglets because they raised 17 grand off of white guilt. So
good.
thank the white supremacists for feeding the mouths of your niggers again.
Yeah, and thank the police who's on the white supremacist code for not arresting you
Oh,
guys for hate crime. So they didn't
oh
do
no,
anything.
no, no, no. Here's what happened.
What happened?
Here's what happened. We actually were assaulted
What
out there. We were assaulted in Tennessee. The
by who?
guy who assaulted us, Diego Buck, that's his name, Diego Buck. You can look up the case. And you could also look up the case of that there are police officers exposing a child sex ring in the state of Nashville as well. So these police
Hold
officers,
on. Who is Diego Buck? Is that some white Hispanic guy? Who is that?
he's a mystery meat spick hybrid.
Right.
That's what we call
That's white.
these Mexicans that are
That's white
Mex.
on white crime. Okay, that's white on white crime. So,
Why are you such a liar,
no,
though?
I'm saying no. You argue in bad faith and all of that N-word stuff. That's not offensive. We know how cowardly and weak of a white supremacist you are when you got to bark at kids. I mean that shows.
I didn't. I
Yeah, yeah,
technically
you
didn't.
did. You did. Yeah, we know how cowardly you are. And you're protected by the police. Some of your fellow travelers within law enforcement, you're protected by them. That's why they let you go out there and get away with all of that stuff. And you know not to do that around no grown brothers. You know not to do that. You know I can
There's video of me getting in the face of a 7 foot giant nigger, calling him a nigger to
well
his
no,
face.
sir, that's an immigrant or somebody. That's probably some tether. You don't go around foundational Black Americans. You don't do it. I've seen your videos. You never go around a group of us doing that. You wait till the police are there to protect you to go and do your little troll.
Do you know why I use the word nigger? Do you know why?
Nobody cares because you're a white supremacist, but you know who to go around that with and who not to go around that with. And the fact that you run up on little children, that shows the kind of cowardly white supremacist you are. All right. So anyway, let me get some more people here because I don't want to get into bad faith arguments with a low level trailer park white supremacist. Let me get some more people. I need to get back into what I was talking about. So yeah, that's HT. He's a white supremacist troll who's clicked basically many people believe he's clicked in with the police. Yeah, the police let him go around doing all of that white supremacist trolling, but he knows who to go around that with. You go around kids. You know not to go around no G's. You get stomped out with the police standing there. So you know what it is. But anyway, let me get to what I'm talking about because there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about here. Listen, Eric Adams, ladies and gentlemen, they got Eric Adams. They're taking Eric Adams down. Eric Adams has an indictment. They're talking about possibly arresting him in the morning. If you're listening to the playback, it'll be the day of. So if you're listening to this on YouTube now, he's probably already in custody. But there's a sealed indictment. The information about the indictment, they're hush hush about it. They're gonna, I guess, release the information tomorrow when they arrest him. This would be the first time in New York history where they put charges and indictments on a sitting mayor. So they gotta when it's something negative and crazy, they gotta make it a black first. They gotta put the black person in there. Um, this is interesting. Now, look, I'm not a big fan of Eric Adams, but we got to put everything in context. When you see prominent foundational Black Americans, men and women, getting broken publicly like this is sending a message. I want people to understand the message that's being sent. We got to get deep for a minute. We need everybody to pull up and let's put our thinking caps on here. Let's put our thinking caps on here. When the dominant society is targeting foundational Black Americans for these high profile takedowns, that's sending a message to the rest of us. They're signaling a message. And this is a lesson that many people who are Black in high profile positions, they need to understand what the game is about so that you don't make yourself susceptible to that kind of targeting. And this targeting is really reserved for foundational Black Americans. I want y'all to see this. If you notice, you don't see some of the non FBA people getting targeted like this. You don't see too many high profile African or Caribbean immigrants or descendants of immigrants getting targeted like this. The very few high profile ones there are. But this is very significant, with Diddy, um, Bill Cosby, now Eric Adams, and so many others, even in the political field. What's that sister, Corey Bush, the sister out there in Missouri? You know, they the APAC people were kind of targeting her political career. So, as our good brother Professor Black Truth says, a lot of these people who try to play the game with the dominant society will end up breaking their tools. They will break their tools. And they're making an example out of people from our lineage. They're really making an example out of them. And this is going into the ethno side that we've been talking about, family. We better understand what an ethnocide is. When people are trying to do a soft genocide, they start with propaganda. The propaganda has to come first, and there's a major propaganda push. And we got to really, really, as foundational Black Americans, get on code about this. There's a reason why they're flooding this nation with immigrants right now. The immigration thing is a real big topic, and it's a desperate push to push all of these people on top of us. It's a desperate ass push. And this is why they seem very desperate not to let Trump in office with all of these assassination attempts on this guy. And I'm not caping for Trump, not a fan of Trump, but there's a reason they don't want him in office. And they feel like he's going to follow through with those immigration threats of deportation. You see? So this real hard push to drive our communities full of immigrants, that's part of the ethnocide. Because the people in our lineage, man, they understand that we, foundational Black Americans, we're the only people that has the spirit to topple unjust white supremacy. They know that. No other group has the spirit or the will to topple white supremacy. Why do you think these white supremacists are in here now, ladies and gentlemen? Look at them. Why do you think these white supremacists come into our spaces monitoring what we do? We got a white supremacist here now. Hold on. He has like caricature pictures of me. Let me have him on. What's going on, white supremacists? Hop on, man, with your caricature page. You got something to say, man? Like, hop on, say something, sir.
Shit.
What's going on, man?
What up, nigga?
Okay, y'all, white supremacists, write some better material. All right, is that all you're gonna do? Is
My dick. Give me some.
okay, okay, you don't have no material. All right, okay, you have no material. You white supremacists are very corny and unfunny, and that's why your white women are using those mouths to bob down on soul pole. All right, but like I was saying, um, there's a major ethnocide that's happening right now, and there's a cultural erasure that's going on. They're really trying to erase our culture, and we got to really stand up against that. Again, like I said, with Eric Adams, not a big fan of Eric Adams, but they were doing an investigation on all of his colleagues and people like that. So people already knew something was going down, but to indict him, he's a sitting mayor. And the thing is with Eric Adams, he was playing the game and doing the bidding of the Democrats with the immigration thing. And after a while, he started speaking out against the immigration thing. He started speaking out against it. He started to kind of question what's going on because he has a conscience to a certain degree. And that's the thing. When they put foundational Black Americans into certain positions, the white supremacists understand that foundational Black Americans, they can get off script at any time, just like with Diddy. In the recent years, Diddy was talking about, forming a Black political party. Diddy kind of waited too late to kind of start talking like the grassroots, but he did start talking like the grassroots. And, that's when, they had to go ahead and clip his wings when he started calling out certain entities he was working with for racism. And so, he's flipping. We got to get him up out of here. You see, when they put Black folks in certain positions, they love to get a tether. They prefer the Barack Obamas. They prefer the Kamala Harrises because they understand that these are tethers who will stay on script, and they're not going to get on code with us because they're not of our lineage. They're not going to get on code. Kamala Harris, we know Kamala Harris ain't going to do nothing for Black people and not have a guilty conscience about it because she's already said with her whole chest what she's not going to do for Black people. So we already know. So this whole cosplaying thing with Kamala Harris, we're not buying it. But the thing is, when it's a foundational Black American who they put in certain positions, they got relatives. You got family, cousins, brothers, uncles. You got some foundational Black American family members. So you're going to think in terms of what your family can get. Your spirit and your conscience is going to eat at you to make you try to do the right thing. And the dominant society, they know that. So that's why FBA tools, they have to be broken all the way down. This is why foundational Black Americans don't play that game with the dominant society. There's no retirement plan. If you want to play that game, you want to kind of be their Negro front person and do their dirty work for them, they're going to turn on you. They always do, especially if you're a foundational Black American. Tethers, they'll give the tethers a little leeway. They'll let them cook for a minute because the tethers are going to stay on code with the white supremacists against us. Many of them do, you see. But family, we got to get very serious about countering this ethnocide that's going on. Let me give y'all 10 things that we can do to counter this stuff because I don't like what's happening with Eric Adams. Again, I'm not a big fan of Eric Adams, but whenever I see the dominant society making an example out of a Black person, they use them as a proxy and they use that to set a precedent. So I can never co-sign that. But again, we got to take responsibility too. The Eric Adams and these people should know when you get around the dominant society, you can't really play that game because what they do, they'll let you play that game where you isolate yourself from Black society, where you do all these things for all these other groups, further isolating yourself from Black society. And they know that you're isolating yourself from Black society. See, that's the kicker. They require you, if they want to put you in a certain position, to isolate yourself away from Black society. But when you do that, you weaken yourself. And Claude Anderson used to tell us this all the time. When you try to be the only Negro in the room, that's a weak position because you don't have any insulation power. Nobody's helping you. So if they decide to, you thinking, okay, I'm the only Negro in the room, so I'm going to get all the little Negro benefits that they got. So whenever they set aside their little minority program, ooh, I'm gonna reap all of that by myself. Ooh, I'm the chosen Negro. I'm the chosen one. But also, when they choose to throw you under the bus, you're going to be chosen for that too, and you ain't got no protection barrier. You see, you always got to think of in terms of protecting yourself, and you protect yourself with your ethnic group. You see, we got to get real big on our ethnic protections. So, again, let me give y'all 10 things that we can do as foundational Black Americans to kind of protect ourselves from situations where we get thrown under the bus, we get attacked, we get targeted, and the dominant society just starts taking random Black people out and destroying them politically, financially, socially, and taking their freedom. For example, another example I'm going to use, Brother Marcellus Williams, who just got executed yesterday. You understand? And we're sitting up here not being able to do anything about it because see, we got to start being on code with stuff like this so that our innocent folks won't get targeted like that. But number one, first thing we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we got to start strengthening our foundational Black American networks. You always hear me talk about networking, networking, networking. That is so very important. I'm not talking about just getting together, smoking and drinking all the time. See, that's not really networking. Getting progressive minded, like minded people together and just getting to know who's who. Going places, setting up events where people can know who's who so we can vibe, network, and interact with each other in person. We got to get out here and touch the grass. See, online is one thing, but most of the connections, you do that in person. And it's important for us to have these networks established. The second thing we got to do, family, we got to have political unity. See, we got to have political coalitions that's all lineage based. Everything we own, we got to be on some lineage based stuff. As foundational Black Americans, all of that minority, people of color, disenfranchised, damn that. And don't feel guilty about it. Everything we need to do at this point should be lineage based. Everything. Reparations is just one. Everything should be based on lineage at this point. We should be talking about educational funding that's lineage based, housing funding that's lineage based, everything. And they can do it. Trump is talking about if he gets in office, there's a tribe out there in North Carolina, the Lumbee tribe, and many of them have black phenotypes, by the way, but he's talking about federally recognizing them, giving them federal recognition because they've been fighting for federal recognition for a long time based on their lineage. And a lot of that has been denied because some of the members have the Negro phenotype. That's been a problem with the white supremacists dealing with the Lumbees because many of them were reclassified as Negroes. So it was a whole big thing going on with the Lumbee tribe. But Trump is talking about giving them federal recognition. So lineage is very important. Lineage is very important. So we have to have political unity based on our lineage. You understand? So that people will not try to lump us in with all of this stuff, just like they keep trying to crowbar us into Kamala Harris's janky little lineage that nobody really knows about. People are doing deep dives into her lineage. It's confusing. It's all over the place. There's a grandmother that they said is died in the 60s, but then there's a picture of her in the 90s. It's too much confusion. All we know is it ain't our lineage. You understand? That just clears all of that up. It ain't our lineage. And we just got to start standing on that, man. We got to stand on that lineage thing. Number three, family, what we need to do, we need to focus on cultural preservation. This is why I always tell people, man, the culture, 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 understanding our culture, preserving our culture, that's very, very important. Once you have your culture established, everything else will fall into place. So, us understanding our culture as foundational Black Americans, that's so, so very important. Documenting foundational Black American history from a local standpoint, from a national standpoint, really focusing on the achievements of foundational Black Americans and um, watching my films and watching other films that talk about the historic narratives of foundational Black Americans. Once you appreciate your cultural lineage, you will just instinctively fight harder to protect that lineage. The fourth thing, family, we need to focus on economic independence. See, we got to really support and build FBA owned businesses and ensure that a lot of FBA communities have the economic strength and independence they need. Um, with that, that allows the creation of wealth that can be invested and reinvested into FBA initiatives. So we got to really go out of our way to support some of our FBA entrepreneurs because we know that they get targeted. We know that they get targeted. Like Turkey Leg Hut, we've seen that they are about to really shut them down after they've been trying for years to target them. So we gotta go out of our way to support our entrepreneur class. It's very, very important. And the fifth thing, and this is very important in this political climate, immigration control advocacy. We gotta really say, hey, this immigration thing is a problem for foundational Black Americans. Don't let them shame us. Listen, we don't owe nothing to immigration. We don't have to sit here and share some camaraderie with immigration or nothing. No, no, we don't. We just don't. That don't benefit us. And when they get here, they ain't really rocking with us like that, not in no large numbers. And again, they're cool people who are immigrants. They're cool. But right now, we're talking about business and group business. And as a group, our business of allowing other groups of people who are looking out for their group, that doesn't help us. So we need to be all for tightening up these immigration laws so that folks are not over here flooding our communities. It's a bad thing. And I know there's a couple of people who want immigrant ass. You want to date you an immigrant, you want to date somebody from a third world. Okay, go to the Philippines somewhere and knock yourself out. But we can't have your sexual desires trump cultural and collective cohesion within the lineage. My thing is, how will the lineage turn out? How will we survive when people are trying to have an ethno um, cleansing of us? So we really got to be aware of these immigration laws and why these immigration policies are being used, and they're utilizing them to undermine us. And that's the long and short of it. Now, number six, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to do, you got to support FBA leaders who are on code, who are under attack. When a lot of FBA leaders get attacked, the community, man, we got to start rallying around people with legal, financial, and public support. We got to organize fundraisers, awareness campaigns, and social media initiatives that will counter the attacks for the ones who are on code. So this goes back into the folks who are off code. Like Eric Adams, he was on some I'm gonna look out for the immigrants and all of that, and I ain't gonna say nothing for the black people who need stuff, even though the black people are asking me to say something. That's a mistake. You see how that is a mistake. You play that game. When they turn on you, you ain't got no base. So, and they know you ain't got no base. You understand? So Eric Adams, they're throwing him to the wolves now. I'm gonna give you another example of somebody who's prominent, who stayed on code, and when they tried to attack him, it didn't work because the community had him. Kyrie Irving. You see, Kyrie Irving has always been on code. This is a superstar basketball player. He wasn't on that, oh, I got mine, and the hell with everybody else. Kyrie Irving has done a lot of things for the community. Um, and he was very conscious about Black history and our status and things of that nature. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted to attack him, is because of that movie he promoted. He promoted an Amazon movie about the Black Israelites, and then they wanted to attack him for sharing a damn Amazon link because he was sharing some knowledge. And then they wanted to attack the brother, and the Black community said, hell no, you're not going to do that. So the community backed them down off that nonsense. And our guy survived. In fact, Kyrie Irving, he was one of the executive producers on our film, Microphone Check. When we had the rally for reparations out there in DC, the first one, because that's when everything was going down. We had thousands of people out there chanting Kyrie Irving's name. The community had him locked in. So we weren't going to let him get thrown under the bus like that. So that's why if you are in prominent positions, don't think that you're going to be the big lonely Negro on top and you ain't got to insulate yourself with folks who's going to help you and protect you, because you got to genuinely like Black society. That's another thing too, because there's some people out here who they don't like being around Black folks, so they think I'm gonna get around these white people and they're gonna look out for me. And then when they throw you under the bus, y'all want to run around and then put on a kente cloth, and then you want to put on a do rag. No, 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 no. You got to stump for the community. You got to speak up for black people on a regular basis. We know the game that they play politically, but you change the game politically. You got to go in here and change the political landscape. We don't need no more flunkies. We don't need no more congressional black caucus people, a bunch of do nothings. And most of them are tethers, by the way. Most of them are tethers. All right. Now, the seventh thing we got to have media representation. We got to create more independent FBA owned media platforms that can counter the narratives of the dominant society and their astroturf platforms like the Rollins. These are Democratic shills. And Roland is he's not really a factor. But our competition is like MSNBC, the big dogs. That is our competition. The Rollins, I'm just bringing him up. He's a non-factor, but the NBC, MSNBC, those are the ones that we got to keep eye on, and we have to counter the narratives that they put out. Speaking of that, I want to read y'all a story from I think it was MSNBC. They put out a story and they kind of threw me under the bus. I'll read that in a minute. Don't let me forget. I'm going to read that in a minute, family. I just want to get through with my list of things that we got to get going. Um, Number 8, what we need is some type of legal defense fund. See, what we need, you know what we need, family? We need a grassroots version of almost like an ADL for foundational Black Americans. The NAACP and the Urban League and all of that is supposed to be that for us. And they've been around before. NAACP was around before the ADL and all of that. But a lot of these Black organizations, some of these legacy organizations that's been around for a long time, they were established by white people. NAACP, that was a white established organization for the most part. So we've got to have a genuine grassroots um, legal defense fund organization that can have resources ready for Black people who are in trouble, Black people who are in need, Black people who need defense. Um, just like our good brother who was innocent, who got executed, you know, we needed our legal team. If we had a legal team to really stomp nonstop for that brother, that would have helped, I think. I think that, they got the Innocence Project and all of that, but we need an FBA legal defense fund so that situations like what happened to that brother, they just can't execute us all willy-nilly and do what they want to do within the legal system. This is why you always hear me talk about the need for Black lawyers. Oh my God. And that's what we need. We need to have a legal defense fund so that we can go around the country scouting lawyers and just having lawyers on retainer, Black lawyers ready to go. I mean, we need to get out here and really stomp on that. And it takes paper. Let's be real, because I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. I guess a lot of Black lawyers don't want to work for free, and a lot of Black folks want the hookup. Like, hey, come on, homie, do me this favor, whoop de whoop. No, people should be paid. People should be paid. If you're a Black lawyer, you shouldn't be nickeled and dimed. You should be paid. And this is where a legal defense fund comes in, so that we'll have resources ready for Black lawyers, and they can go ahead and get this bread and go ahead and do what they're supposed to do. All right. The ninth thing we got to do, and this ties in to the networking thing, we got to have cultural events. We got to host and promote events that celebrate foundational Black American culture, from music festivals to historic commemorations. Um, these events, man, they should really educate the public on the contributions of foundational Black Americans. Cultural events are very important. This is why we have Aratasase events. We create our own foundational Black American holiday. Juneteenth events, that's beautiful. And we don't let people co-opt it. That's another thing with Juneteenth. We got that as a federal holiday, and that's a foundational Black American holiday. But what do they do with it? They always try to Pan-Africanize it. They always use Pan-African colors when referencing Juneteenth. and they have it in June and they make June Pride Month. So then they try to tie the rainbow stuff into Juneteenth. So we got to stop letting folks do that, trying to tie everything into our cultural thing, you see. And that's why it's very important for us to gatekeep, 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 just like we did with microphone check. Microphone check was us gatekeeping the culture. We stopped people from talking that Puerto Ricans and other people started hip hop. We stopped them from saying that because it was a lie, and that's again that's a part of ethnocide. And for the record, y'all got John Leguizamo. He's still out here. They got him up here running around. I think they got him doing a PBS series where he's talking about how Latinos built America and all of this stuff. So that's going to have to be counted too. We can cook up some documentaries debunking that stuff too. I'm down. We got to debunk all of this stuff. We got to debunk all of it because they play this game. If there was a black person who kind of had a Spanish last name, they try to act like that was some kind of Latino accomplishment or whatever. They love playing that game. So that's a whole different ball game right there. And number 10, man, the most important thing is educating the next generation, man. These kids, these young people, we gotta create scenarios where we can incentivize them to get the knowledge. That's one thing that we did with the Hidden Color series. We made that such a cultural fixation where young kids would go to the movie theaters to see that, and they were so excited because it was a glamorous thing. We made history and learning a glamorous thing. It was a fun thing. You go out, you go to the movies, you're with your friends, you're with your family, you're eating popcorn, you're eating candy, you're out there with other people who are excited. That's a vibe. Kids feed off that. We have to make our culture and our history and our empowerment appealing for younger people. And the Hidden Color series is a great example of that. Just put it in a way where it's entertaining and educational, and also get younger people and elevate them, especially the ones that's on the knowledge wave, those who are showing promise of good leadership skills. We got to create situations where we elevate them. Because what happens is you got a lot of the old Negroes who are in certain positions and they never want to give their positions up. They don't never want to put nobody on. They want to be the old head Negro in charge all the time. And it's okay to bring in other young folks, man. Bring in new energy. That's why when I do events like we do the Rally for Reparations, we get the young cats like Black Alpha, Afro Elite, some of these other young folks out here to really spit that hot fire, and others. We try to give them a platform for the next generation. Our good brother Riza Islam. We try to give those guys platforms. That's the next generation. And we need to get around and protect them and then elevate them and continue to encourage them to do the right thing. You dig? So we got to get very serious about making power moves, ladies and gentlemen. And this story I was talking about earlier, this is why media is very important because their media is against us majorly. MSNBC put out a story today. Let me find it. This was on MSNBC, written by a dude named Jahan Jones. He works with Joy Reid. He's one of Joy Reid's people, the Readout. I think he works on her show, I think. I want y'all to check this article he did, and he threw me and he threw a lot of us under the bus. So this is the angle they're going with. Trump has adopted creepy rhetoric from pickup artists to woo women voters. All right. Former President Donald Trump's paternalistic remark about his intention to be a protector for women, who he claimed are lonely, stressed, depressed, and unhappy, has garnered predictable backlash since the weekend. You will no longer be abandoned, quote, lonely or scared. You will no longer be in danger. You will no longer have anxiety from all the problems our country has today. You will be protected. I will be your protector. Okay, let me stop for a minute. So the reporter, he's a Negro. I think he's a tether, and I think he's bussy friendly too. By the way, that's that male feminist stuff that he's talking. But let me read the rest of the article. Trump made the context for those assurances crystal clear when he added that women will no longer be thinking about abortions if he's elected. Da, 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 da. Yeah. When I heard Trump's comments, they reminded me of the pickup artists who become popular in the MAGA movement. These characters are men who market themselves as tutors for men who want to learn how to attract women. Their tactics usually rely on infantilizing women and their desires, promoting the idea that men need to police women's behavior, and oddly enough, using insults known as negging to manipulate women's affections. It's misogynistic stuff. And Trump's well documented spiritual alignment with his community has been going on for years, most notably when Esquire asked in 2016 if Trump was the world's greatest pickup artist, but more links between Trump and pickup artists have become apparent in recent years. Zach Folkman, a business partner in Trump's cryptocurrency scheme, is a controversial pickup artist whose courses purportedly teaches men how to become the ultimate alpha male. Andrew Tate, another pickup, wait, wide report on the ways in which Trump's rhetoric mirrors notorious pickup artist Andrew Tate's. Now, check this next part out. Another pickup artist, Tariq Nasheed, is known for peddling pro Trump propaganda and leads the MAGA friendly group Foundational Black Americans, which works to pit Black Americans against immigrants. Okay. So they sat up here and said, I'm a pickup artist, and you guys are MAGA friendly. All 43 million of you. You're MAGA friendly. And we peddle pro Trump propaganda. So when this is MSNBC. So this is something from the DNC. They got this from the top. And I told y'all they were going to be attacking me in the mainstream media coming up to the election. They do this every election cycle. The mainstream media will put out these crazy ass stories about me, throwing me under the bus, so that they could minimize my influence because what they do, the DNC, they got data collecting analytics companies who can tell whose tweets and whose social media posts are making impacts. I mean, they study the data of social media and influencers like me and others. They study us with a magnifying glass and they know how much we reach people. They can see what we're influencing. They can see if we're swaying people a certain way. And they see through analytics that I have swayed a significant group of people, and I can sway people with my opinion because usually I'm just going to speak truth to power. So they use the COINTELPRO tactic of trying to discredit. They got to discredit me by trying to reduce me to being just a pickup artist and MAGA friendly, which I'm not. I am not MAGA nothing. I'm not even voting for anybody. But again, these people are pathological liars, and you lie when you're desperate. You see, I ain't got to lie. Everything I'm saying can be verified. I speak truth to power. Everything I say can be verified when I talk about how janky and crappy the Democrats are and what they do and what they're going to do. Every damn thing I say has come true. All of their tactics, we didn't peep their tactics. All of their little benign neglect tactics. They're mad because we're putting people onto the game and not letting people be conned by the Democrats. The Democrats are running that thing like a plantation and they're being abusive to black people because we are their base. They have no other base. The Democrats have no other base. That's why they're flooding the zone with immigrants right now, because their base is acting unruly. We're starting to make demands. They're like, uh-oh, these Negroes have woken up. And now that we're saying, you know what, we don't really want to vote for you right now, they're damn near getting violent with us, man. These folks are really coming at us violently. Like our good sister Janet Jackson. Look at how they're talking to that sister. Look at how they turned on that sister and talked about that sister. You understand? Because she just questioned some things about Kamala, like you ain't supposed to question her, like she's some kind of royalty. You can question her background. The hell is she? You know, damn, you can question her. We're not obligated to support any fool they trot out for us. We're just not obligated, Black family. And we want you to understand your power, foundational Black Americans. We got to start operating in power. Let's stop letting folks punk us out. This is why we got to get on code and protect folks who get attacked by these Gestapo tactics coming from the damn Democrats. Oh, God. Speaking of Democrats, they didn't send Gabriel in here. Gabriel, oh, God. Okay, family, do y'all want to hear some bad faith? To be honest, Gabriel, I don't even know if I'm in the mood to hear bad faith DNC talking points. Let me take a poll from the family in the room. Family, do you want to hear, if you want to hear what the Democrats are saying, and he's one of their mouthpieces, give me a thumbs up. If you do not want to hear Democratic Shield talking points, give me a thumbs down. Let's just do it like that. Where y'all at? Where's the family? I'm scrolling down. Okay. Malcolm said he wanted it. Okay. A lot of folks are giving the thumbs down. Yeah, I don't think people are in the mood for the Democratic Shield talking points. I'm just not in the mood, to be honest. I'm just not in the mood for bad faith arguments. Hey, Kamala has a program that's gonna give $25,000 in tax credit per house. So yeah, she's doing great things for the community. I don't want to hear that. The reason why there's immigration is because Trump had called his buddies and told them don't pass a partisan bill. So is Trump the real reason? I don't want to hear that. You guys are like broken records. I just don't want to hear plebiscite DNC babble. Oh, it's so tiring and corny. I don't want to hear it, man. Okay, let's get Rilo Huncho. Rilo Huncho, what's up, brother? Rilo, turn your microphone on, bro. All right, Rilo ain't turning that microphone on. All right, let me get Sheba Kita in the building. Sheba Kita in the building. All right, Sheba Kita, where you at, dear?
Hi, I'm here.
How are you, beloved?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Mine here.
I've been taking notes, and I just have to say I learn something every time I listen to you live and the playback. So I appreciate you and all the work you do. You already know that. But I took some notes here of what I wanted to say. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things, if I could.
Yes.
I think for FBAs, we have to be careful who we have kids with
Yes.
because it's so dangerous nowadays. I have two beautiful foundational Black American babies, two daughters, and they're amazing. Their father is part FBA, part Kenyan. Now,
Mm,
I struggle because his mother, unfortunately, she got with him. She got with his father because she couldn't really cut it with FBA men. Now, I ain't
yeah.
gonna go into all the specifics, but she had to get her a Kenyan man. And she got her a Kenyan man, had babies. This man basically took her money and he's living high off the hog off her money and got his African woman with him. Now moving on, they're all Democrat. Like she's for the boule. It's bad. I have to battle with these people on a
Now,
regular basis.
now the mother is she or is she Kenyan?
She's FBA, the mother.
Got it. But his dad is Kenyan.
His dad is Kenyan.
Got it. Okay,
And
got it.
it's no good. I have to battle on a regular basis in front of my kids because I am anti Kamala. You know, I'm for us. I'm not for these daggone people and the agenda they're pushing. And the mother, his basically my kid's father's mother, she's for all of this liberal nonsense. Oh, the LGB, elemental P. Oh, we should be supporting them and we got to support the immigrants. And Kamala's black. And we had a 2.5 hour argument because I'm teaching my kids that she's not black. My
Right.
kids are 7 and 9,
You got girls or boys?
girls,
Okay,
7 and 9. And they argue with their father. Their father shoving the pictures of Kamala Harris' father in their face, talking about, look at him, he's black, he's a black man. And because he's black, she's black. Forget her Indian mother, that she only talks about her Indian mother. She
good.
doesn't talk about her father, who's supposed to be black, but that's not a race, that's a nationality. He might have been born in Jamaica, but that doesn't make him black. And it hurts my heart because he loves his kids. He's a good dad, but he doesn't have we were not linked in that way. We're raising our kids on the same how do you say, like, political form, or we just
Now,
don't.
does your baby's dad, or was he your ex-husband, or just y'all didn't get
No, we
married?
never got married. He's my,
Does,
unfortunately, I have a wonderful man in my life who loves me and my kids. Hopefully, he'll marry
yeah,
me one day.
and
But he's amazing, and we're on the same political realm.
is the new man FBA?
He is
Good.
100%, not
Okay, so,
mixed or anything.
your Kenyan ex, does he have any other kids with anybody?
He has he had a daughter before my kids, and now after our two kids, he had a son. But I
Oh, really?
believe the mother of his last son is FBA.
Okay. How old is the son?
The son is 3. I think he's
Okay,
going to
have
be
you
4. He's going to be 4.
okay, now have you seen the little boy's hairline?
I seen his hairline. He got a good hairline, and I think
Oh,
it's because his dad. His dad got decent hairline, and he's half FBA, so
okay.
he's decent with that. But he got that gap though, and my baby
Oh,
got the gap. My baby got the gap.
meat gap. Okay. That
Yeah, it go hard.
bush meat, the bush meat gap.
Oh, he got the gap, and now my daughter got the gap. And if she want to close it, I'm all the way for
Yeah,
her, but
oh,
I'm not
gotta,
gonna make
gotta
her close it.
gotta get that baby some braces. We can't have her with the. We can't have the baby with. Let's get that baby some braces.
Let's get the baby
Let,
some braces.
let
I
us.
just wanted to mention we definitely got to be careful because I have to fight on a regular basis, and it's not fun at all. And I
Yes.
also wanted to mention to you, because I know you got to go. Eric Adams, I heard what you said. Oh my God, that we have to support our FBA leaders, even the ones that we don't like. Because I just want to say, isn't it interesting that the common denominator to everyone that they attack, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Diddy, they all lost their political, like their base of black people, not political, but their base of black people. They don't have no base. So it's like
Right.
they know that if we don't rock with them, they can attack them.
Right. Exactly. So that's what
That's,
we're saying.
yeah.
Thank you
I
so
see
much.
what you're saying.
Yeah. So family, that's why it's very important, man. You got to have your base. When you have a strong base, man, especially I found when the foundational Black American community is rocking with you, it's hard for you to get attacked, man. When you got that base, they can't get rid of you like that. You dig? When we rally around, I want us to really understand our power as foundational Black Americans, man. We got power once we get on code. That's why they never want us to get on code. That's why they never want us to get on code. They do not want us to get on code. Um, and I like to use the example of Frankie Beverly. Frankie Beverly, one of our foundational Black American icons, who made music to touch our Majara spirit. That brother was filled with the Majara spirit. That's why his music touched us so much. Frankie Beverly's music was the embodiment of the Majora spirit. He came from a spiritual church background and soul funk. He respected the ancestors, respected the community, and the music industry. They never gave our good brother Frankie Beverly and Mays his accolades. That man never won no awards. All of the hits that Frankie Beverly and Mays had spanning like 4 decades, that man never won a Grammy, never won American Music Award. I don't think he won a Soul Train Award. The dominant society in the music industry never gave that man his proper accolades. But the black community rock with them heavy. They would have sold out concerts all over the place. Until he died, they would have sold out concerts. We made their songs black national anthems. Before I Let Go, that's like our unofficial black national anthem. You say lift every voice and sing. No, Before I Let Go. That's the black damn national anthem. You put that on anywhere, black folks gonna turn the hell up and be on a vibe. So they were winning their whole career, even though the dominant society never gave them their props because the community rock with them. You understand? So it's very important to have that base, have a strong grassroots base. Zach, what's up, Zach? Hop on. Zach, Mr. Zach, where you at, man?
Hey, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, bro?
Hey, so I have a question about so I'm not FBA, but I respect FBAs a lot.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Somali community in Minnesota?
Okay. Well, they're just up there in Minnesota. I'm hearing a lot of things up there. I know they were fighting some people in the black community. I know that some of those Somalis during the George Floyd thing, some of them were burning down black schools allegedly. I heard that. So, they're doing their thing up there, but are you a part of that community?
So I'm vehemently against a lot of what's going on in the community. So I'm a first generation American, and I support a lot of I have a lot of FBA friends.
And where's your family from?
So families from Somalia.
Okay. Okay. And are you up there in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, I know there's a lot of Somali gangs up there. They're doing a lot of stuff up there. So we just don't want that to be lumped in with us. So if they want to go out there and gang bang as Somalis. Because what happens, they get locked up and then everybody want to be black. And no, 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 no. Y'all start banging as Somalis. All right. Let's get facts. Facts in the building. Where you at, facts? Facts, facts, facts. All right. Facts ain't saying nothing. Let's get Myrick. Let's get Myrick in here. All right. All right. Let's get Myrick, you ready? All right. Grading Kamala, are you ready? Okay.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
What's up, grading?
What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Tariq, absolutely. I've been following you for years. I absolutely love everything you've done for the community. Really appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. And
And oh, sorry.
where,
You're
where you
sorry.
from?
Oh, I don't want to say what state I'm from, but I guess you could say I'm like in the New York area, Brooklyn area. And one thing I've been noticing recently is, and I want to know your thoughts on this, but it seems like everybody's just attacking Janet Jackson for speaking the truth, and I'm like, yo, like who gave y'all the authority to just attack someone just because they don't agree with whatever political beliefs you have? And like I'm just curious, like, this is just like a culture shock for me. This didn't happen when I was growing
Right.
up.
Right. Yeah, it's the left wing media, man. They're really showing their true colors. Um, they're very desperate right now. The Democrats, the DNC, the left wing media, They are extremely desperate. They're doing a lot of desperate moves. They really, really need Kamala to win for some reason. This is real pivotal for them because they're just doing desperation moves. They're lying, putting out propaganda stories. They got troll armies who's flooding our spaces. Any prominent black person who questions the Democrats, they're getting attacked. When our brother Ice Cube questioned the Democrats, like, hey, the Democrats, why don't they do something for the black community? Oh, shut up, Ice Cube. Oh, shut up, shut up, shut up. Any prominent black person who speaks out against the Democrats, they attack them majorly. So Janet Jackson just questioned Kamala Harris and her background, and they just went on a whole rampage attacking her because they hate when prominent black people use their influence to sway the black masses or the masses in general. They need their black entertainers to be on board to act as flunkies for the DNC because a lot of the black entertainers were put on by liberals in the Hollywood system. So the whole thing is, well, you owe us black people for putting you on. That's kind of the mindset. It's like, yeah, we done gave you superstardom. We put you on our liberal media. We put you on our music shows. We put you on our liberal radio stations. So you owe us political um, endorsements. You owe us um, a political nod for the politicians. That's the vibe and the energy. You understand? Let's get 4chan goat. The 4chan goat. What's going on, man?
So obviously, as you just said, uh, it sounds like you're not a fan of the Democrats. I
No,
was wondering what you think about Islam and like the Nation of Islam, like Malcolm X. Like, do you ever see like a FBA political party forming to counteract the mistreatment of blacks by the Democratic Party?
well, just mistreatments of black people, period. But yeah, the Nation of Islam, yeah, I rock with the Nation of Islam heavy. Yeah, I rock with them, a big supporter of them, big supporter of Malcolm, big supporter of Minister Farrakhan, big supporter of Elijah Muhammad. So yeah, the Nation of Islam, phenomenal organization. They're like really the only long-term successful black organization. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the only one who really got it right. And
Would you say Farrakhan's been like the most prominent person of the ones you've listed in the last like 30 years?
yeah, probably so. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so with Farrakhan, how he calls out Jewish people, why do you say liberal Democrats or Hollywood liberals? Why don't you just say Jewish people?
No, because I don't break white supremacists up in groups. It's pointless to do that because the white supremacists who are Jewish and the white supremacists who are Christian are all on code with each other. You understand? So I don't, why should I break them up in groups?
Well, you
Huh?
broke it up into a liberal group,
Well,
but
that's the
you
political part.
you don't
That,
think there's conservatives in Hollywood that misuse black people?
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, when I break down white supremacists, I break them down. I just put them in a whole collective. I don't break them up because when the dominant white supremacist society starts attacking black people, they don't start speaking out against each other. They all get on board with each other. You know, I give you a current example right now with Diddy. You got a lot of white supremacists or suspected white supremacists, Anglos, who will talk about Jewish people this and Jewish people that. But when they're white Jewish people who are helping them attack black folks, they don't criticize each other. For example, Gloria Allred, who's Jewish, and she's attacked and helped bring down almost every prominent black male entertainer and athlete. She just wheeled out a quote victim in the Puffy case. Nobody never really criticizes her for attacking black men all the time. You understand? So yeah, y'all don't break that up. So I don't break them up. I don't break the white supremacist suspects up. So that's how I look at it. Yeah.
What do you think about the case of Leo Frank, which led to the formation of the ADL, which we all know the ADL recently has kind of been going after black activists with the Palestinian conflict, and that's an example of when white supremacists teamed up with black people to call out Jewish supremacy, because Leo Frank blamed the
A black
murder on a
a
black
black
person, and then the white supremacists, the KKK, they
they
said,
didn't
no, it
believe
wasn't a black guy, it was actually this Jewish guy.
right. They didn't believe it because the black it was a frame up. So they knew it wasn't the black guy. So they knew it wasn't him.
But wouldn't you admit that's like a pretty good example of
No,
sometimes black and white people can get along against
that, that
Jewish
was
supremacy?
no, that wasn't getting along. It was just they realized that the black person didn't do it. All right. They realized that it was a black person who didn't commit the crime because if he did, or even if they thought he did, they would have lynched him. So that wasn't them getting along. It was just an innocent black person who just happened to not get caught up. And, that's what happens. But again, in the white supremacist movements, there's been Jewish people in white supremacist organizations. Dan Burroughs, he was part of the American Nazi Party. What do you think about him? He's
I'm
Jewish.
not
He
I'm
was
not too familiar with that person specifically, but I do know a little bit about George Rockwell, which George Rockwell is also kind of the leader of the Nazi Party in America. Also, he was assassinated by a Jew.
Mhm. Yeah, and there was another Nazi part of the American Nazi Party, a guy named Frank Joseph. That was another one. And they found out he was Jewish and he was a part of the American Nazi Party. And some of the alt-right guys, some of them are clicked in with the alt-right and they're Jewish. Laura Loomer, who runs around with the alt-right and throwing up Nazi signs and the white supremacist hand signal, she's Jewish. Yeah. So why break them up? Right?
So, do you think there's a chance in our American future where blacks and whites can live together and this isn't a conversation, or do you feel like it's something intrinsic in white people?
Well, there's some people who believe in white supremacy and there's some who don't. And unfortunately, the white people who don't believe in white supremacy are not as powerful as the ones who do. Why do you think the white supremacists are so powerful within your community?
Well, I'm clearly white, as you can tell, but I have personally never met many white supremacists in positions of power. Could you name a few?
Yeah, George Biden is a suspected white supremacist.
I could see that accusation definitely, especially in the past. If you look at some of his quotes and his track record,
Yeah, I mean,
like the crime
it's
bill,
right.
his quote about like a racial jungle.
Hmm.
But it could be a facade. But I feel like he's kind of changed his opinions with age. But it could all be acting. All politicians are actors.
Biden's mentor, Robert Byrd, was a card carrying Klan member, sir. You understand? So yeah, I think Biden knows a thing or two about white supremacy. I don't think it was a fluke. That crime bill wasn't a fluke. That wasn't a facade. There was real life damages behind that. So yeah,
So
yeah.
do you think like the Biden administration, they gave $2 billion to FBA, or not FBA schools, but HCBUs, which was, if you account for inflation, Obama gave 1 billion, Biden gave 2 billion, but with inflation, that's kind of about the same money with the recent rise in inflation. So, do you think that's kind of just like a diversion of our attention to be like, oh, hey, look, we gave them $2 billion for HCBUs, like, don't look anything deeper into it?
Well, basically, the HBCU, that money is going to go back to the white people who are running things behind closed doors and the financiers. That money goes to them. Also, that money goes to the all of the immigrants that they let go to the HBCUs because right around the time they allocate direct money that's going to benefit us directly, then come holler at me. Not one of these lift all programs where every group can come in and kind of siphon off the money and then we'll get the crumbs. And that's not a real program.
So I would say,
Bro, let me ask you
every,
this. How do you feel about
okay.
reparations of Black Americans? How do you feel about that?
I feel like they should have paid their promise of the 40 acres and a mule back then, and it's hard to make the comparison of what the current monetarily value would be. What do you think is a fair monetary value, I guess?
Uh, Start off, and I talked about this the other day, a $20 trillion package. $20 trillion. We start off with that, and then we find out how to allocate that per family. But start off at 20 trillion,
How,
and
how
we
many how many black households are in the country, just if you
but
know?
it's between 43 and 45 million foundational Black
So,
Americans.
so that's like, I can't do the mental math right now. But that's something like what, 5 million per household? Something like
We
that?
got to crunch those numbers. Yeah, we got to crunch those numbers. Well,
We can just say 5 million. If it's 50, we can say 550. It's one of those to the
okay,
10th power. But I feel as a white American that I feel like I'm okay with reparations to end the stigma and the because reparations is the only thing that FBAs seem to claim will fix the problem. Correct, like you just said.
but it's not about fixing a problem. It's just a debt that's owed. It's a debt that's owed. Our job is to not fix anybody's problem. It's a debt that's owed to us. And white supremacy, that's a problem in your community that you guys have to fix. And if you want to fix it, you have to show steps that you're trying to make equitable justice. And reparations would be a step for that. So that's something that you would have to fix within your community because every time we try to build on our own, when we say, okay, since they're not going to give us anything, we'll just go over here on that side of town and we'll build our little Black Wall Street. The white supremacist community, they always seem to come in and sabotage what we try to do on our own. And it happens over and over and over again. And we keep having to get our little money together, rebuilding over and over. When black people built up Wilmington, North Carolina, the white supremacists destroyed it. Rosewood, they came in and destroyed it. Prominent black areas in Miami and Detroit and Chicago, they built freeways over there. So, since we are not allowed to build what we need to build without being sabotaged, you just give us the money that's owed. How about that? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I think that could be fair for
Right,
sure. And this is
right,
this is coming from someone who's like rather far right and follows controversial leaders and kind of what you want to call white supremacy spaces. But one issue I have with that, and you kind of touched on this a few minutes ago, is like we got people like Somalians coming in. I feel like it'd have to be only for people who could track their lineage to plantations. Like how could you have these Somalians come in and they try to claim it? You know what I mean? You just said when they're gangbanging, they can't claim black on the crime report. They got to claim Somalian. So I feel like before we could get that to work, we got to identify who the true people would be and stop other African groups coming in who are coming in just to try to get that money that you earned and they didn't earn it, your ancestors did. Does that make sense?
right, right. And that's why there would be a like a Freedmen's Bureau. That's why we're trying to establish that so that we can make everything lineage based. Everything is going to be lineage based. It's going to go to foundational Black Americans who descended from freedmen. And we had a Freedmen's Bureau after slavery that got busted up. The Freedmen's Bureau was around the same time the Bureau of Indian Affairs was around. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, that's still here, and they still get resources allocated to them. So we need to just reestablish the Freedmen's Bureau and not have that sabotage too, because again, we had the Freedmen's Bank and we had money saved up, and the white supremacists came and took all the money. So again, they just need to go ahead and give us what we need to get since they're going to sabotage everything. So that's what it is.
So obviously, you wouldn't want Black Americans to pay this money. You know, obviously the taxes are lumped together, and obviously Hispanics shouldn't have to pay this money too because they were also persecuted by the white system at the time. But there's a large chunk. You know, what do you think about the northern states? Let's say a white person tracked their lineage to states that didn't have slavery.
Well, let's slow it
And,
down. Hold on, slow down.
okay.
You said Spanish were who were they persecuted by?
Well, the American government went in to Mexico in 1912. They took California from them. I'm sure they killed a decent amount of people. I don't think Hispanics hypothetically should have to pay you reparations because Hispanics never owned slaves that were black in America. Definitely in Brazil, definitely in some islands in the Caribbean, but as far as I know, in the
How,
South,
okay,
with the
wait, no. How do wait? Slow down, slow down. How come they don't owe nothing, but my tax dollars go to them if they jump across this border? Why do they get my tax dollars, but I ain't supposed to get theirs? How's that work?
No, I totally agree on your latter point that your tax money should definitely not be going to people illegally entering. But
Right. I didn't start Venezuelan gangs. I didn't do anything to nobody in South America, but yet
yeah, for sure.
they go straight to my neighborhoods, the black they gotta get up all of our resources. They're being housed in our schools in black neighborhoods. The black community is out here crying for help now, and we're footing the damn bill. So I don't want to hear nothing about what the hell they didn't do and how they don't owe. The hell they don't. You come over here, eat off our tax dollars, you owe. You absolutely owe. Anybody who comes over here, they owe. You're part of this empire. You know what you're signing up for. This country owes a debt, and if you're a part of that, you're gonna have to get down with it. It's just like a mortgage. Mortgage companies, they sell mortgages all the time. They sell mortgages all the time. And when a mortgage company buys the mortgage from one company, and you can't say, well, I bought this house and I don't know you. I don't know you, Shell Point. I don't know you. Well, shit. You owe me. You owe because I'm clicked in with the people who you were paying initially. So I'm clicked in with them and you owe me. So we're all connected. We got a relationship through that other person, through that other person, through that other person. So everybody's all interconnected with the relationship. So anybody who comes over here, they owe. That's what the go now. Where'd your family come from? I know you're gonna say Germany, but where?
Uh, I'm like a mutt of Western Europe and the British Isles. Honestly, I've heard every different major country. I've heard German, France, English, Irish. So I've never had a DNA test done, but I know for a fact one of my great grandfather's lineage can be traced from coming from Canada. So he definitely had to have been French, I assume. He
Yeah,
came down from the north, but just like a lot of other Americans, a lot of I wouldn't say my lineage is lost like a slave, obviously. That's completely non comparable, but I just had to say I don't know my complete lineage.
right. And most people don't. I mean, hell, foundational Black Americans, we can kind of trace our lineage farther back than hell most white people. Because many white people they came after the 1800s. They came after the 1800s, and many of them came after slavery. Really, the only large groups of people that were here during slavery were really the English, the British, and um, the Irish, and people like that. But yeah, a lot of folks can't really trace their joints back like that. So it's understandable. So all right. Let me get my guy Robbie in here. Guy Robbie wants to chime in on the combo. Brother Robbie, what's up, brother? Brother Robbie Blue, what's happening? How you doing?
On the Lord's work, man. I don't see why these guys act like it's complicated math, like they don't understand, and then they want to try to trauma bond with black people and get us to do their hard work, and they come to Black Daddy crying like they're Hitler on soy milk. Now,
Yeah.
if P Diddy can be caught up in a freak off, basically Lady Liberty was in a freak off over here in America, right? They all
Oh, yeah.
participated. Why are they acting dumb? In other words, if it's I'm white and I say so, it's not a debt that's closed. It's a delinquent account, and it's a debt that needs to be paid. If you can send little rockets to space, I don't think black people's tax dollars during segregation were separated right. We helped to
Right.
fund their schools. We did everything. So basically, they're just being billion-dollar panhandlers. And one thing I really don't like about them is they just pocket watch Jewish people. They'll pocket watch you if you put a movie out, and then they'll pocket watch Jewish people. And then they say they want to have a white ethno state when most of their neighborhoods are lily white. So
Yeah.
they're just basically crybabies. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll land my plane there.
There you go. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. So the goat. So are you one of these guys who want a white ethno state?
I think I want a ethno state for every ethnicity. So I feel like it's only fair if you have black ethno states. I don't know if the ethno state should be within America. America is, a new concept in the last couple hundred years. Most of the American Indians have been wiped out, so it'd be hard to rebuild an ethno state for them. They have their horrible trailer parks that we push them upon. Can't deny that fact, clearly. But I feel like the ethno state would have to be tied to lands that were historically white. I feel like at this point,
But
America's always going to be a melting
okay,
pot, so it's not
okay.
possible here.
Slow down. What are historically white countries or lands? What's a historically white land?
I would say like Germany, Scandinavian areas.
I don't know. I don't know because
Around
the ri-
around 10,000 years ago, they were like a brown type of Indian, and then they evolved to be white in the
right,
culture.
right, because yeah, they were brown melanated people up there in that part of Europe.
Yeah, but
Uh,
those people turned white naturally though through evolution.
well, they turned white during the Worm and Ice Age. That's when they turned white, right?
Yeah, like around 10,000 years ago, something like
Right. That's
that.
correct. That's correct. That Ice Age became depigmented during the Worm and Ice Age. They lost a lot of their pigmentation because of you know being locked in that ice box. And then the noses got slimmer and the hair got straighter and all of that stuff. The asses got a little flatter. You know, you had to adapt. So, um,
But
but
but would you say that is a white homeland though? I feel like it's hard to claim otherwise.
what's a white homeland though? But
Like
because
very very northern Europe.
because again, it
Because
was
not all melanated people are black. That's clearly something you can agree on.
that's true. That's true. They're not black like East Indians. They're not black, but they're melanated people, but they're not black like us. We're different phenotypically. Um, and again, many people say that the white skin that came out of Europe was basically a form of albinism. So there's a lot of theories on that. So what is a white land? And the whole concept of white is relatively new. That came out of Spain in the 1400s, the whole concept of white and blanco and that whole concept. So that's relatively new, you know. So,
Yeah, I feel like one of the best things for rebuilding relations of non-blacks and blacks would for be anybody who's not black to get out of Africa. We really
mm,
have no business in Africa, wouldn't you agree?
yeah, yeah, but they're not gonna leave. Yeah, it's too many resources. Yeah, they went into Africa first and colonized and Alexander the Great and those guys. They went over there and pillaged. They saw all of the resources over there. So it was just so resource and mineral rich. They're never going to get their hands out of that voluntarily. And when the African leaders try to get on code with each other to say, "Hey, let's get these folks out of here," yeah, we see what happens to them.
Do you feel like Gaddafi could have been that person before he
Yeah.
got
Oh yeah.
overthrown?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the reason why they targeted him. He was going to have a gold-backed currency for the whole of Africa, and they were like, "Oh no, you don't. Nah, nope, nope, nope. We're not going to do that." Yeah, whenever any black leaders over there starts to go in on the white supremacists, Idi Amin, when he was doing the bidding of the British and those guys, he was cool, but when he started going against them, they had to put him in exile. Mugabe is another one. When Mugabe was going against the white supremacists, they had to get him up out of there. So, it's the same old play. But well, thank you so much. Let me get some more calls in here. Yeah, that was a very civilized conversation. That's what we should have. We should have civilized conversations like that. 4ZR. 4ZR, hop on.
Thank you for having me, Tariq. Yeah, I just had a one question. Yeah, man. Honestly, I was curious how the African American community went from being super modesty, being having a good job, to where they are today, like in the Malcolm X era, right? They inspired to be like Malcolm X, MLK, and look at today's day and age, right? The sexy red, Lil Uzi Vert, degeneracy. I mean, degeneracy is to the roof. And who do you think is behind that, or do you just blame the whites and turn a blind eye to the Jewish executives, the record? They're running all the record labels and all that. What do you say to that, Tariq?
See, you have a Somalian flag in your profile, sir. No,
No, don't attack me. Just answer the question. You could drop me if you don't want to answer it.
no, no, we're going to have a conversation. Now, I'm not going to drop you. You're not going to troll, and I'm not going to do all that. We're going to talk. Now, why are you concerned about a sexy red and your whole country is full of sexy red, sir?
So you just want to beat the bush, beat by the bush. You don't want to answer the question directly. Is that
We're answering.
what we're doing?
We're, an- we're answering now, sir.
Well, you can
I,
answer the question with a
I,
question.
I'm just trying to see how you're qualified to point the finger at foundational Black American culture, and you come from a completely failed homeland. I'm trying to understand that.
Well, I'm not gonna be like you. I'll still answer your question, okay? My country, you got America been waging war on my country for the past 30 years. After ever since the Twin Towers got dropped, so we got our own issues to deal with, okay? My
Then
country.
why aren't you not?
Can I answer you though? Like you didn't want to answer me, so can I answer you?
Go ahead. Why are you not dealing with those problems?
Well, I would like to deal with it, but I came here for I came to the West for a better life, and when I get enough free,
Right.
I will
You
go
can't,
back willingly. So,
but you're not,
want to
sir.
answer mine then?
You're not. I'm going to answer your question.
Go on.
But you're over here with us. You're over here with the sexy reds because
No, no,
sexy.
I'm not. I'm not in America.
Oh, you're either in Britain or Canada. Which one?
Yeah, I'm in Canada. Yeah.
There you.
I got my
So
own business, everything.
you're close enough. All right. So the thing is about foundational Black Americans. The great thing about us, family, we have a balance. So for every sexy red,
Nah. I was in Washington.
Shahrazad Ali. No, no, no. We have a Shahrazad Ali. For every Glorilla, we have a Wani Spots who's in the room right now.
But Treat,
We
you can't lie to me, bro. You can't lie
no,
to me.
what are you talking about? Lie to you? Where
I
did I lie?
literally was in Washington, and I saw big black dudes that looked like a bodybuilder that was wearing fucking bikinis. Like they had loose hips, and I was like, oh, like it made me cringe to my core.
They
So
were probably tethers like you, sir. They were
no,
probably
no,
no,
bro.
no, no. DC is full of tethers like yourself, and they're full of Somalis, dude. DC is fully. That was probably one of your cousins. You understand? Once they get a good plate of food to eat, they get real big backed to go with that head. So that was probably one of your people. DC is full of tethers. So let's be very clear, sir. Foundational Black Americans, we have a balance of people. Yeah, we got sexy reds, but the thing is, we got iconic Black people. We got the Dr. Welsings. We got the Joy DeGrues. We got phenomenal people. We got the Malcolm X's. We got the Reza Islams for every little Uzi Vert. You understand? We have a balance of people. So we got the degenerates. Okay, that's fine. But we balance it out with iconic Dr. Kings, Ida B. Wells,
Also,
Tariq.
don't recognize the mic. Let's have some balance and give me some time to talk.
So now, okay, I done told you the balance that we have. We got iconic black people who are revered around the world. What's your balance in Somalia? All you have is hunger and fleeing. So what's your balance, sir?
You kind of didn't answer my question directly, but I'll let it slide. When
Like,
it comes to Mike,
deflect. No, no, you keep deflecting, sir.
mm, that's what
No,
you started doing.
no, sir. I just gave you some of the icons in our community that balances out the sexy reds. What balances out the female circumcisions that's forced on the women in your community and
Well,
other?
I don't want to talk about women. Okay, we could talk about Lizzo.
Just talked about sexy red. What you mean you don't want to talk about women? You came in talking about women. You want to talk about your women and how they're treated? You got the nerve to ask us about degeneracy and they force circumcisions on women in your homeland? And the women are running around there with flies all on them, can't even breastfeed their kids, and y'all fleeing and not helping, and you got the nerve to ask about foundational Black American women? Really? Talk to me. You ain't muted.
Alright. You like you're shutting me up. You're just going on
I'm
that
not
guy, shutting me
up.
up. We gotta have some balance, though. It's not my space. It's yours.
Okay, you know what? Let me get my sister in here, Wani. Speaking of a phenomenal foundational Black American sister, we got we got him in the room now. We got him here. We got Nikki here. We got
But Tariq, you can't lie to me, brother. Like
okay,
I've went
okay.
to America.
4Z,
I've
4Z,
seen you guys for who you is.
4Z. Okay, hold on, sister. How are you, beloved?
Hey, Tariq, how are you?
Good. Now, Sister Wani, this is my sister. She has been to every country in the world, including Somalia. Sister Wani, what did you see in Somalia in this gentleman's homeland?
Well, ask her where has she been. Like what part? What
I
part?
saw a
Not
lot of
Ghana.
poverty, a lot of poverty, and I'm trying to find out what do your women do?
Just
What
like
are they known
every
for?
other
What are
African.
your women known for? What are your women known for? Because we have
Uh,
astronauts.
with all due respect,
We have
I
women
don't
that
argue or go
calculate.
back and forth with females. I'd
Okay,
rather
I
discuss.
know you don't because you're not going to win. When you get a woman
No.
that
That's not.
becomes an astronaut, that can calculate the moon landing, then you can part your dumb lips and start to talking.
See, this is what you guys fear. When you get a fellow African to call you guys on your BS, that you guys
Fellow
win.
African, you
No.
have you seen your
I'm
head?
I'm the real African.
We don't know if you're we
Your
don't even
blood
know
has
if
been
you're
diluted
human.
by
Now
natives,
you
by
know that.
Europeans. I'm pure African. So what do you say to that?
Well,
All right, and we're foundational Black Americans, so
Why
we're
don't you,
different.
Tariq? Would you go back to Africa in the future,
Just
like the white supremacists want?
not from Africa, sir. I'm a foundational Black American.
Bro, like just look at your facial characteristic. Like, how can you deny Africa, man? You look like a guy from
how
Nigeria.
can you deny you're an alien? Look at your forehead.
Alien. I look handsome. What?
You look like a
Are you
handsome
dumb?
alien then. I don't know what to
I
tell
have
you.
three wives now. What are you talking about? Just like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
You're
I
not.
got three wives. I have a big family. Got my own business. I'm leaving
Well,
the
you're gonna need
Canadian.
three if you're gonna cut their vaginas off. So there you go.
No, that's just the BS. That's the propaganda. Just like when people say sexy
Mhm.
red, stuff down their stings,
Mhm.
right? Imagine if I say every
Right.
black girl's like that.
Well, you did. You came in talking about steroids.
I don't think so.
Yeah, 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 you did. Yeah, you're not at liberty to talk about no stereotypes, sir. And
Well,
the only women you need to be concerned about is Sally Struthers
three,
dropping
three, three.
right.
Let's be straight up forward with each other, okay?
Mhm.
Would you ever come back to Africa?
Come back. I'm not from Africa, and I visited Africa, but I'm a foundational Black American.
Did you do your 21 DNA whatever? 21.
Yeah, and like everybody on the
You're
planet,
Nigerian.
everybody on the planet's DNA will go to Africa and Europe somewhere. Everybody. Their DNA will go back to somewhere in Europe and somewhere in Africa, like mine. But I'm not African. I'm a foundational Black American, sir. You are African, and that's okay. I'm a foundational Black American. I can trace my lineage back farther than yours.
Awesome. Well, we can we can differ, right? I don't believe what you just said, right? You can believe in your own truth, but
Right, right.
do you?
But I can trace my lineage back farther than yours.
No, no, I don't think so. What did you
I,
say? It come out as what was the result? You said
the what now?
what did you say was the result? Like 50% Nigerian, Mali.
Oh, they had me all over the place. They had some Mozambique. They had some West Africa
Okay,
stuff. They had
why don't you go go see one of those countries then? Because the
talking, dude. They had me somewhere in Europe. They had some Asian stuff. They had some native stuff here. So they got me all over the place. So, but I'm a foundational Black American, sir.
But do you know that the whites actually see you guys as a bioweapon of the tribe?
Who who cares? I don't give a damn about what whites see me as. Who gives a shit? We're foundational Black Americans. See, we're comfortable and confident enough in ourselves to not care about what the white supremacists think, sir. That's the great thing about us. All right?
Okay, yeah, we could believe that. Can I ask you a question? Why do you why you guys show a lot of hatred towards the African migrants? Like let's say when African come from Nigeria, Mali, Senegal, or some Africans from the Caribbeans, why do you guys hate them? Why do you guys like?
What do you have to hate? What do you have to hate? You got to have something to hate on. What do they have to hate?
Well, you guys act like you hold a superior what they call
No, no, no. You got to have something to hate. What do they have that we are going to hate on?
Okay, perfect. Good question. Okay, let me answer you. So,
Oh, I got it.
the Nigerians is when they come to America, for example,
Uh huh.
they prioritize education. They take advantage of the education system, like you guys complain about. Like instead, like they don't do what you guys do. Like to simply put, they don't whine and complain about the education system and the system being unfair to them. So they go out there and they do it and get it done. Okay.
Then how come then how come they don't do it in Nigeria?
Well, Uh,
Uh,
it's not by
uh,
leadership.
okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Not go on.
I, I
If they
I like I like that you letting me speak, and I appreciate you.
don't be
Also do that, okay?
don't now they
Okay,
got if they can do all that, how come they're not doing it in Nigeria where it's nothing but them? Okay, go.
awesome, perfect question. The reason I okay from my perspective,
Uh,
okay,
boy, you babbling. Come on, man. Let's get it
can I
together.
speak though? You keep cutting me off, please.
Come on. Let's hear it.
The reason why they don't do that is because like there's not much opportunity there, and the education level is not
But you're so
that
educated.
high.
How come they create the opportunity? How come they can't create the opportunity?
They try, but they get subjugated, and there's covert operation being what they call
No, 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 no.
being
But you
done
said
against them by the
no, no,
Western
no,
powers, right? Would
no.
you deny that?
No, you just said they don't complain though. So that's a
They don't
complaint.
complain. Yeah, they don't complain when it comes to here when the opportunity is
Yeah, because you ain't got nothing to complain about because we've already paved the way
n-
for them to come and eat.
not you, Tariq. Come
Yeah,
on, white man
yes,
created.
yes, sir. Yes, us.
No,
Yes, sir.
no.
Yes,
You
us.
got free
No,
like 100 years ago, or
no, no, no. Yes, us. Yeah, you come over here and eat because we've already done the fighting in creating the lane for you. We were the ones getting the HBCUs popping, getting schools established, sir. You late with it. We've been doing that. We've established hospitals. Some of the most prominent doctors early on, that was us. We were some of the earliest doctors during slavery. We were healing people, sir. You're late to the damn party. You understand, sir? You're very late to the party.
yeah. I don't think so. That's just all speculation, Tariq. In my humble.
That's speculation. This is very well documented, sir. Very well documented.
Are you
We,
okay, Terry? Are you denying? Sorry, but are you denying that the white man has created the things that we know, for America today, like everything that we see?
we know that they stole a whole bunch of stuff.
They can steal your labor, yeah, but that was a
Yeah, steal your ideas when they control. They know how to colonize and control people, and then steal the intellectual property of people. The white supremacists
like you
they've
can hate
ma-
someone and acknowledge what he did and what
for example,
he achieves.
for example, like Thomas Edison, for example, they try to portray him as this great inventor. All he did was steal people's stuff and patent it, especially black people like Lewis Latimer, who he had working for him, who really created the light bulb. That was Lewis Latimer.
Mm,
Grain
I I I don't believe that.
You what?
I say that's they what they call they miscreanize that, like they lied about it basically. So just because you near someone that created a great invention, and let's say you happen to be a black person that was near that person, come on, you can't just claim it, or you can't shift the invention onto that second person who is the black person, and that's what
Okay.
guys tend to do a lot.
Okay, no, I'm talking when you have a black person like Lewis Latimer who wrote the first book on electric lighting. Yeah, he invented it. Nobody wrote the first book except him. He literally wrote the first book on electric lighting. So yeah, he created the stuff.
Okay,
They
Terry,
put all
can we?
they just take credit for black people's stuff. They do it all the time, sir.
So can we admit, and also the black community, right? Can we all admit that all the good things that are in the world that we benefit from, the white man has created it. What, like, you can hate him because
Like what?
everything,
Like
airplane,
what?
communication systems, like literally everything. This phone that you're talking on, right? The white man has created
Like the
that.
phone?
Somehow you
Slow
still
down.
hate him.
Slow down. I want to slow walk everything you saying.
Go on, take your time. Go.
Okay, let's slow walk it. Don't just throw stuff out there. Okay. Now you said the communication apparatus is like the phone. Did you say the phone?
Yeah, in general, yeah. You can find out little components here and there.
Alexander Graham Bell, Lewis Latimer was also the one who came up with who wrote the blueprint for the phones too. So he had a hand in that. So you notice a lot of these inventions that white daddy that you're praising created, we were always somewhere kind of nearby, foundational black Americans. You notice that? We were always somewhere in the mix somewhere. Huh?
Uh, I don't know. Give me sources though. Like you can speculate.
Yeah, I'm giving you names. All you got to do is look it up. Lewis Latimer, look up Granville T. Woods.
What did Lewis invented? I was
Lewis Latimer basically created the light bulb. He was the one who created the light bulb.
I wasn't talking about the light bulb or whatever.
Okay.
I'm talking about
But
that one.
and you know what? And there's about 50,000 patents that foundational Black Americans have. We done created so many
You
things.
mentioned like five of them or 10, maybe.
Modern doorknob. We created modern dry cleaning.
I'm talking about life changing stuff.
Yeah,
Terry, come on, man. It takes
it's like
great to
I'm
lock.
talking
Keep
about what
keep the
else?
intruder out.
Hey, home security systems. We're talking about life changing. Yeah, that's life changing. We invented a whole bunch of stuff. The question is, what are the Somali patents? What did y'all invent?
Okay, go and say it. Like, I thought you were gonna talk shit.
No, no. I mean, when I name stuff, you said five. I'm just naming the first thing.
No,
I'm
I
looking.
don't. I didn't do personal attacks.
I'm
I'm
not doing a personal
real
attack.
quick.
Nobody's attacking you. Okay, name something that Somalis invented.
Navigation, right? You can
How?
read it who created it first. We're the first to navigate the seas, right? Like the
Who
first.
Somali?
Okay, you gotta let me talk though if you don't mind. It's your
What?
space, and yeah. So
What
yeah,
lie are you about to tell?
say that again.
Man, what lie are you about to tell? What? When did y'all? When?
You
What?
can speculate as a lie, but there's Google, right? You can search everything up today. So yeah, they created the sea navigation system. They used to navigate by the currents, right?
Who Somalis? No, they didn't.
Uh, really, like you don't have to believe me. You can search it up. My job is not to convince you. I'm just telling you, right? So they were
True.
the
What you?
first one. They were the first African to go to China.
Who was
Whose
the
name?
first to go to?
Somalis from the East Coast, from the Horn of Africa, right?
Okay, it wasn't called Somali at that time. It wasn't. It
Uh,
wasn't some.
it was like back then. It was the medieval time, so like it was sultans. You had sultans and shit.
Well, you just saying stuff. It wasn't. No, it wasn't even
But
Somali.
listen,
It
the point is
exists.
not for you to believe me. Like you can do research on this.
Somalia didn't exist at the time. What you talking about?
There was no such thing as Somalia, and there was no such thing as America back then. We all know this. Come on, like you're not in grade school.
So why are you giving that to Somalia? Somalia didn't even exist during the time of early navigation.
We
Somalia did. It
we
wasn't even a
as
concept.
local sultanate, like local what do you call it? Local. Yeah, look, Sultanate basically means like a regional empire, like clan empire, tribe in different regions. We control all of the Red Sea, man. We control all of
Oh,
the Indian Ocean, all of that. You don't have to believe it.
I don't believe it because Somalia didn't exist. So what you talking about?
Yeah, the country, the modern day Somali country, did not exist, but our people has been around way before even the pharaohs, man.
What people? If well, you weren't Somalian, what you had Egyptians, you had Punt. All of that area was,
There's a region called Puntland within Somalia. What do you think Punt was located?
yeah, it's located where Somalia is now, but the
Mm,
land
mm.
was, wasn't the same landmass. It was a different.
But are you denying that the people has not changed, whether they have changed religion,
Yeah, they have.
language? Those are the same people that.
Because the Arabs have come in and mixed up
No,
everybody.
no, no.
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
seen the Somali DNA?
Hold on, slow down. Wani, let me get Wani. Wani, come on in, beloved.
I was only wanting to say what some of the inventions were.
Yes, go ahead, dear.
So Lewis Latimer, he created the part that makes the light bulb stay on the carbon filament. He also is the reason why you think Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone, because he was a patent officer and he had to go to court in order to prove that, because the patent was contested. So he had to prove that. Plus, he invented the phone too. Um,
Mhm.
Henry Sampson co-invented the electric cell, which converts nuclear energy into electricity to power communications, satellites, and space travel. We have a lot of inventions for NASA, by the way. I'm not going to read them all because it's too many, as we
Right.
already said. We have a lot of inventions. So, you saying that white men invented everything? No. Gerald A. Wilson, pioneer of video games. Um, Valerie Thomas, inventor of 3D and invented the illusion transmitter by NASA. I forget the other lady who invented GPS. We invented, a lot of things. And I'm not gonna, you're just out of your league and you
Mm.
need to stay in your place, which is under my foot.
Did I hit home?
No, I hit you.
Did I hit a nerve?
Let me get Brother McCall. Brother McCall is actually over there. That's our FBA brother who's actually over there in East Africa right now. Brother McCall.
So Rick, you can claim all you want. You can give credibility to all of them so they can speak on behalf of my region, like
Oh,
to
well,
discredit my region. Like
all right. Well,
I know your playbook, so go on.
okay. Brother McCall is going to speak on your region. Brother McCall?
Great Minister of Code. How about that?
I'm good, brother. How are you, sir?
Excellent. Just living the dream and winning and listening to this hunter gatherism. Brother 4ZR, unmute your mic.
Okay, don't call me a brother if you're gonna do some personal attack. But go on. I'm ready for.
Okay. I'll call you peasant and you can call me God and your master. How about that?
No, no. You're
Question. Why,
why you
why, why, are the, why are your Somalian
let's not
family
let's not,
organizing with the
where you from?
Arab
Where you
Egyptians to
where you
attack Ethiopia, sir, right now? Answer that question.
where you from?
Why are your Somalian
Where
Arab
you from?
brothers organizing with the Arabs in Egypt to attack
Where,
Ethiopia right now?
uh,
Answer. I'll
you don't
land.
not like just yell. Where you from? Let's have a civil. Let's address your point one by one. Don't
He
be
asked you.
emotional. Where you from?
Okay, he's off. He landed. So he asked the question. He
Uh,
says,
like bring people that have some credibility at Troy.
okay, he was
You just
credible.
take
He
shots and run
over
away.
there.
Like, come on. If you're gonna shoot at me, you gotta wait when I shoot back.
Okay, all we got to do is throw some bush meat and we got you. So we're not
Hell
trying to
no,
shoot.
I don't eat bushmeat, man. I eat camel meat, cow, goat.
Right.
That is bushmeat.
Yes,
I've been
indeed.
eating fish. I have the longest coastline
Camel,
in
you
Africa, so
admit to that?
I'm good.
Mhm. All right. So 4Z,
Why you
again,
bringing people up, man? You can't handle me alone, bro. Like, no
no,
deeper.
no, but I just, I want to be fair.
Why you
This is a
diverting the? Why you dodging my?
not dodging. I'm just making it a fair conversation. And you never mentioned any of those Somalian,
It doesn't
and
have to be.
you
It's
start
not need tension. We can have a civil, relax, have a civil conversation.
very civilized conversation, but you started naming inventions that were not even from Somalia. Somalia didn't exist when certain navigation devices were created. So you just started making up stuff. So uh, anything
Tariq,
else?
I'll simplify for you, brother. Listen, go to Google, search it up, search this up, okay? All the invention Somalia has brought to the world, okay? Life changing, global ramification, okay? That's what he had on the
Googling it now. Hold on, I'm Googling it now.
yeah.
Uh,
And then read it one by one, okay?
oh,
Don't skip anything.
I'm seeing a bunch of flies. A bunch of flies came up in
We're not asking about your personal feelings, but
there's flies. I'm seeing flies. There's nothing but flies.
read
So
what's read what's there, man. Come on, let's not do that.
sir, I don't see any inventions from Somalia.
Okay,
Hold
okay. If you don't want to read it, let's go back to my main question that I had for you. Why can't you get along with the new African migrant that have came to America the past 60 to 100 years? Like, why do you guys despise them?
what do they have to despise?
A lot of things they make him big in life. They taking advantage of the American opportunity, right? While you guys just sit and whine about and ask for reparation and blame the white.
But yeah, but you had to whine and
No, don't attack me. Address the question.
but
Come on.
sir, glad and listen, for real, I looked up, I Googled um Somali inventions, and it's like a
Oh,
boat.
now you wanna name the Somali invention to
No,
that. Okay, go.
it's things. It's a boat, some kind of boat with a called a bidding boat, and some kind of little old janky car called the Grand Tiger car. I'm not even making that up. It's two inventions. Y'all created some little old dusty car called the Grand Tiger.
No, no, don't add names. Just say what it says. Like, don't add titles or.
I'm not adding it.
We're
I'm
not
literally
asking for ad libs.
family. I swear to God, I'm reading. There's a car that they created called the Grand Tiger in
So name
Somalia.
the top five
There's
inventions.
literally no top. I'm looking at Wikipedia. There's two inventions.
Oh, I don't believe you, but I'll.
Google it.
No, no, no.
Google
That's why
Somali.
that's why you have the phone and you
Google
don't believe it. So
Google
um,
Somali inventions. There's two things, sir. You said Google. I Googled. Two things came up. Am I
but
missing
created the
something, sir?
navigation system that the world enjoys today, right? The people claim it was created in the Arabic Golden Age, right?
The only thing you navigated was a plane ticket the hell out of there to come your ass over here. You didn't navigate anything. So you're just saying
That's your
stuff.
opinion. That's your opinion. Trey. Come on, don't do
That's not
don't.
an opinion. The fact that you got to sit here and lie because you haven't invented anything, but then have the nerve to come over talking about what about some sexy red and leave white people alone.
Yeah, because I was concerned for
Why
you
are you
guys.
such a cheerleader for white supremacists?
Tariq,
What's that?
listen, listen, Tariq. I was
Hold on. No, no. Why are you cheerleading so hard for white people?
not. I want to give credit what credit is due. Like I'm a realist.
Okay,
Where
you give them
you
credit for colonizing your homeland and making you flee?
I they don't have me to this day. There's no white kids there. I literally chased them out of my land with AK-47. Unlike you, they still control you. So we're not in the
They
same
control,
category.
they control you. They chase you out.
No, no.
You got chased out of your own homeland, and now you're up here caping for white people, sir. You got chased out of your own land, sir. Damn. And not only did you get chased out, you were up here making excuses for the white supremacists. The white man invented everything. I got to give credit.
Tariq, you wanted to weaponize. I mean, you wanted to demonize the white though. That's what I don't do.
Why are you caping so hard?
Okay,
Why are you caping for white people so hard? They didn't colonize you mentally and physically, sir.
that's not what I'm doing. We were talking
Why,
about invention. I'm not licking the white man's ass. Okay, we were talking about
yes,
inventions.
one
I,
hop on
I
it.
kept giving the white man credits, and you were trying to deny it, and you were
Right.
trying to claim it as you've created everything that we know today.
Okay. I never said that. But Wani, go ahead, beloved.
Mm,
I was going to
that's
say that the Greco-Roman Empire has, volumes of their trips over to ancient Egypt. So this is not even new. But I just want to say that in order to make them feel good about themselves, and I mean Africans and other groups, they have to say that the white man invented everything. Because if they're confronted with the fact that we actually invented something and they didn't, and that it wasn't the white man, they want it to be someone else because they can't compete with us.
Mm,
The sister that's speaking, can I ask you a question if you don't mind?
It's so hard for them to admit we invented these things because it makes them look horrible. But if they can just say another species did it, then they can feel good about themselves like, oh, it's, none of us can do anything. Well,
mm,
yeah, we
No,
can do
that was
things.
my point. Oh,
We
go on.
can do things. We can get civil rights. We can break barriers in sports. We can have sports legends. We can have abolitionists, we can have inventors, we can have everything we need. And you can't. You can't produce these things and you're mad about it. So you want to say everything is a white boy.
mm.
I disagree. Can I ask you a question if you don't mind, sis? You there? Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah. So I was addressing or I was talking about all the major inventions that the whole world benefits from. You can try to put words in my mouth.
What about
Can
the
I
traffic
land the
light?
question
Does the
real quick?
whole world benefit from that?
Say that again.
Oh, you guys don't have traffic lights, so never mind.
Oh, I wasn't attacking you. I was just gonna ask a question. I listened to you respectfully, and I assume you'll reciprocate that. But my question is, I was alluding to the major invention that the whole world is benefiting from. So that's what I was
He
asking. So
named them
is
lights, traffic
there,
lights.
can I land? Lights. The white man created the lights. Yeah, maybe some black man had something to do with that. Maybe, but you can't give all the credit to.
It's not maybe. He actually
But
has
can
a
I ask my
patent
next
for these
question?
things. It's called a U.S. patent. We register things. We don't carve it on a rock.
Listen, who created the train? All the major changing
The
inventions.
train?
Who created the
Oh, hold on.
engine?
Have you heard of the real McCoy inventions?
Go on, explain it.
Those are the some of the inventions that made the train work, and
Uh,
everybody was running around asking for that because of the
was that a black
quality.
person?
Uh,
He was a black. I
did
remember.
you know that we were held as slaves by the train? So we actually built the train and the train tracks,
Mhm.
See, I
and we
I
invented
the
things
labor
while we
aspect.
were
I don't know
there.
about the
Uh,
invention, the brain
we
behind
also
everything.
created some music
The
genres
brain,
while
the
we
brain
were on the
behind
train
the invention
tracks,
is
by
what
the
I'm talking,
way.
which you seem to not get. I'm talking about the brain behind the invention, the person that sit down with the pen and paper
What
and
about
came with.
the Patterson and Sons cars, which was a higher quality of car, but it was not easy to mass produce because it was
Like
very
the reason
handcrafted.
why you guys are
We
trying to
have
label me.
brains. We have brains, and you're mad about it.
No, no,
You
no, no. That's
got the
not.
forehead. We've got the brains. What are you
Listen,
going to say?
I just the reason why you guys are trying to demonize me is because I just want to give the credit what credit is due, and you
What-
guys enjoy
I
all the
do
white
that
man
too.
invention,
I'm not
and at the
Afrocentric.
same
I
time
give
hate on
credit
me,
where
and
credit is due
I
as
don't appreciate
well.
and I
But
don't appreciate.
credit is not due. Just because you're enamored and you never saw a tall building before, you think that
No, no, that's not what I
you
said. We had
landed
tall
in
buildings before the
Wonderland
Civil War.
and the white man is God.
We
Well,
we
we don't think that because we built the
we had
buildings.
buildings 50 years ago in my country before the Civil War, all
Hmm.
the destruction. Okay, so you can play that card. You can't play that card with me.
I like playing it though.
Secondly, you can talk about labor and you had something to do with building the railways, but I'm talking about pure
We had something
invention
to do
that
with the
changed.
brain power behind these things, sir.
Yeah, did you have anything to do with that?
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
architects.
Give me sources.
yeah. The bridges, some of the bridges for the trains were built by people like Horace King, a foundational Black American who was enslaved, who was an architect.
He
We
he
were
built
the
railroad. You said or the train?
design. We had black people who were actually physically building the tracks, and you had people like Horace King who was designing, who was the architect of some of the tracks and the bridges and some of the buildings in the
Okay,
South
put on
too.
the jumbotron so I can read it.
Why don't you Google while we're talking? I
Well,
know
I
that.
want to fact check you. Maybe you can lie, and maybe if you
Let's
drop me afterwards,
fact
I'm
check it
actually.
now. Google Horace King. Google it right now while we're talking. Do it in real time, just like I Googled Somali inventions and two up. Not.
Alright, I'll do that. I'll do that. You can move on to someone else. We don't. I don't want to hold up the mic for too long. But
Well,
okay. You want to spell that? Say the name of. Say the name of the
Hor-
guy.
Horace King.
Boris King.
Horace with an H. Horace King.
Horace King.
Horace King is foundational Black American who was
Horace King.
enslaved.
Invention is that what I should write?
Horace just Horace King. If you type it up, it'll come up. Horace King, foundational Black American, and he
Yeah,
was an
it
architect.
looks
This
white
was
or
white
Mexican or something.
afro, but
No.
white and has a big ass afro. He was enslaved. He was a
Come
slave.
on, come on. If you're half black, half white, does it count really? Like, cause the other
Oh,
his other
don't.
side can claim him as much, right?
Oh Lord, he was black. He was classified as black, sir.
He has a narrow nose, Caucasian
Slave.
features.
He was enslaved. He has a damn afro. He's black and he
He
was
looks like
enslaved.
Somali or Ethiopian. Like I don't even think it's a.
So, the wildest dreams. He does not have a big forehead like you, sir. Let's not.
Nah, nah. I have a
He
shiny,
does.
smooth skin, curly hair.
He had soul food and not bush meat. So
Uh,
don't put that.
that's West Africa. I eat goat, camel milk.
Right.
Fish.
So changing the subject because yeah, those are facts. As a
Well,
foundation,
your claims are not factual, though.
it,
To
is factual. It is factual. The physical buildings and things that he built were physically there. It was physically documented. It was photographed.
bro.
So
I
yeah,
like. I want to make a post about him and put on the jumbotron, but I don't want to embarrass you. But that guy is not. He's not black, bro. He's like at best maybe he's half black, half white.
you,
And if that's the
you
case, the other half can claim him just as much.
think so, work, sir. He was well documented as a Negro, very well documented.
Okay,
Just because
so still I don't have any major invention though. That's
you
what I seem to miss.
don't have any major inventions, sir. Now you're just babbling. All
Okay, I
right.
don't want to. I love the African community, African American community.
Okay. Now I know we let him babble for a long time, but it's very important to understand the mindset of tethers like that. And my sister Wani made a very good point. It kills them to see foundational Black Americans so successful, so revered, so respected globally. We've created so many things. We are the face of Blackness globally. Do y'all know that eats these tethers alive? That's why he kept saying, I'm a real African. I'm a real African. Yeah, you are. We ain't. We're foundational Black Americans. We ain't on that. We are foundational Black Americans. So they are just desperate to have a one-upman thing up on us. They want to one-up us so bad. So this is why they hate that we are delineating because they like to say, well, y'all ain't the real Africans. I'm for real. Okay, yes, you are real. I ain't. Oh, yes, you are. You African. You kind of no, no, no. You go ahead and take the African crown. You're the African king. Knock yourself out. I'm a foundational Black American. That's why it burns them up when we go there because see, we delineate and then we take our wins to our own corner. You understand? And we can point to the wins that we have culturally and lineage wise. I Googled what that man said about inventions, literally, and you can do it too. Two things showed up, family. Two ass things showed up. An old boat somewhere and a car, a Grand Tiger car, and the car looks musty. You understand? I ain't never seen a car that looked musty. How you gonna have a musty car? And that burns these people's asses that we as foundational Black Americans are the minority here. We're a fraction of the percentage of people here, and we've accomplished more than they have. You understand? And what they like to do, they like to come over and point to the lowest denominator. They like to come over here. The tethers are very good at coming over and trying to compare themselves to the sexy reds and people like that. And sexy red is more successful than everybody in your village back home, sir. Ain't that a blip? The sexy reds who you're trying to point the finger to, they're more successful than the people in your homeland. Family, I don't let, and I have my issues with the sexy reds and all of that stuff. I got my issues, but that's something that we as foundational Black Americans discuss. We can be critical of that because that's part of the lineage. We can be critical of that. I'd be damned if a flea and tether is going to come over here and start talking about hood chicks or hood rats or whatever, and you got a whole country of people living in damn squalor. I'd be damned if I'm going to hear any criticism from a damn flea and tether who left shanty towns. You're not at liberty to say anything about a foundational Black American. You can't say nothing. You are not at liberty to give any type of advice at all. You don't know anything about success. If you can't teach me about no success, you can't give me no criticism about failure. You can't say nothing to us. That's why the Myron Gaines, I get on those cats who come from squalor and failure, got a lot of damn nerve to come over here pointing the finger and then talk about how come we hate on certain immigrants who come over. You don't have anything to hate on. You wish we hated on you. You need something to hate on. You ain't got nothing to hate on. We don't give you that emotion. That's a fantasy in your mind. That's a projection that you have. You're the one hating. You ain't got nothing to hate on. What am I hate on? You getting Red Cross rice? Why would I hate on that? You don't hate down. You hate up. You never hate down. You don't hate on people with less than. You hate up. You hate on people that got something you need. You understand? The white supremacists hate on us because of genetics. They don't have the genetics we have. The melanin. See, that's a weapon. They look at our melanin as a weapon. They look at our melanin and our melanated DNA as a natural weapon. You understand? And that bothers them. So that's hating up. We got something that they don't have. They're hating up. Naturally, we got something that they don't have. That's hating up. Even if we don't have the financial means that they've hoarded, we got some genetic material that they don't have. So you're hating up still. When folks come over here from other countries, they look at us as having things that they don't have. That's hating up. We're not going to hate down. We don't hate down. We don't hate on people who ain't really got nothing going on. We actually try to assist you. Most of the assistance that you get from Africa, for real, not exploitative assistance, always comes from us. When the white people go over there, they're like, yeah, we're going to help you, but we're going to get all of your resources. But yeah, we'll build you a little water well. But yeah, we're going to get about 5 billion of them diamonds over there in your backyard there, buddy. But yeah, drink up, drink that good water. And we're going to leave a little Ebola over here for you too. But at least when we go over there, we genuinely help people. We bring economics, we bring resources. When foundational Black Americans go over there, we go over there to genuinely build. We're the only people who go over there who don't try to exploit you. And you have the most vitriol for us. It's amazing. Ah, goodness. A lot of people in here. All right, let me get my brother Eric John, EJ, in here. What's up, EJ? Let's get EJ in the building. Brother EJ, what's up, fam? I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. You had the damn whole Twitter space smelling like, injera bread and hyena meat. So I'm glad that you got that musty cheddar off here, man. Because I was catching a brain aneurysm hearing this dude talk. And this just it doesn't really pains me to say this because he gave his Somalian people no get back or actually bringing something to the table, let alone saying anything about their homeland and their people. And all I wanted to ask is when we get in that grinder for a green card on physical copy, man, because we need that for all these tethers to add to their collection since I'm a collector of music. And I
Oh,
did
yeah.
want to ask you another thing. When that dude was up here talking about the inventions that foundational Black Americans didn't allegedly create, He didn't name anything that his Somalian people came up here and created, let alone even tried to go back to his homeland and help his people. So, when you're dealing with cockroaches like this family, you always got to keep a red roach spray and just stump them out in a pair of Tims. But thank you, Tyreek, for doing your thing. Keep up the good work, player.
Much respect. Yeah, he started talking about some stuff from ancient times. Yeah, we created navigation. Somalia didn't exist back then. Who the hell you? Boy, these people be saying anything, man. Well, Somalia did not exist. Musa, what's up, brother?
How's life, man?
I'm good, man. How are you, Musa?
Good, 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 good. Nice to meet all of you. This is the first time I'm speaking to you, Tariq. I just wanted to say that guy was really like respectful, and you guys were being like quite bitter. Why is that?
How so? Because he was lying. So yeah, you're not being respectful if you're lying.
I agree. I agree. He was sensationalizing with the whole, the inventions. Like there is something that's called badan, which is a Somali invention, which is it's like a vessel. It's like a
But
maritime vessel that does exist. But nonetheless, the thing that I was a bit taken aback about is because I don't like judging people by what I hear, but I have heard that the FBAs tend to be really bitter, and I saw it like live. Like I was listening, and the guy was quite respectful, pretty respectful, and you guys were just bashing him. So I mean, the only thing I can say, and I'll let you respond, is of course there are trolls. I'm Somali, by the way, and I'm in the diaspora, but there are trolls in the community and people that and do wrong things and that. But if there is someone that approaches you guys in goodness, then repay the favor instead of like going low. That's my advice to you guys.
you're saying that because what we were saying, and we were spitting facts. That's one of your fellow travelers, so you have a camaraderie with that guy. And every time we ask
Not
a question,
necessarily.
we would ask him a question, and he would take it as an insult. We weren't insulting him. We would ask him questions. He would talk about inventions. We would name inventions, and he was like, "Oh, I don't believe it." So he was doing a bunch of "I'm a tether and I say so," and that's disrespectful. That's not respectful. By sitting,
I think Tariq, I understand the history of like foundational black Americans. How there's a history of enslavement. There's a lot of victimized. There's a lot of issues that happened in the past. I would just say that I think the best thing you guys should do is be positive, more positive, because. And I'm not even. You can say what you want about the country, and I'm not even coming here to be old. I think you can tell like from my
you,
demeanor, I'm not trying to be very defensive. But
you're
all
in,
I'm saying is that
you're in.
like you were attacking him, you guys were like literally insulting him. Like that's why I saw it, and it was like multiple times. Look, in the end, you guys can do what you want. But all I'm saying is that if you guys feel offended by
No,
certain groups, then just deal with people with the person in front of you
slow down,
instead of like
slow down,
you
slow
know
down, because you feel like people telling the truth is an insult, and it's not. We're telling the truth.
No, no, I'm talking about the actual insults, Tariq. I'm talking about the actual insults. You guys just like you did a lot of like insults. Look at then. Look, I'm not telling you guys. Look, man, I'm not trying to be childish or anything, and I expect the same from you. But
But a lot of y'all, a
go
lot of
ahead.
you guys, y'all hear the truth, you take it as an insult. You take the truth as an insult. He left. He fled.
Nah, not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. Not
Like,
necessarily. And Tariq,
yeah,
Tariq, I look.
slow down. You're in Britain. You're in Britain. I can hear your British accent. Now, is that by me acknowledging that you're in Britain? Is that an insult?
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. Look, I don't like being judgmental, and I've heard that the FBAs are very bitter, very like sort of bitter people, and so and I understand the history of
Bitter,
enslavement if that's the
but
cause,
hold
but
on,
like
slow down. You heard we're bitter to who and for what? Who do we have to be bitter to?
no, in general, I've seen on X, right? I've seen a lot of commentary on other people from other communities, and they always point to this fact that they're very bitter and very like the attitude and all of that. And I said, look, I'm not going to judge the community, but I came on this. This is by the way, this is the first time I've been in your spaces.
Slow down, slow down. And see, that's a projection. If anybody's bitter, that would be Somalis because they have to flee because the homeland is devastated. That's where the bitterness, and that's a projection. We're in our home.
Okay, so just to respond, Tariq, clearly, if I was bitter, I would come here and insult you and say you're teasing my country. I didn't do that. I just said that I want to be fair to you guys and be not be bitter back. But like you guys were
Okay, slow down. You got to slow down because you babbling. You got to slow down. We're having a dialogue. You're just not going to say a bunch of stuff and just keep talking. You're not going to say a bunch of stuff and keep talking. That's what you're not going to do. You're going to have a dialogue. If you say something, there's going to be a response to it. You didn't say you guys are bitter. You just keep saying you bitter and just keep talking. You're not going to do that, Musa. You understand? Now, what you're doing is projecting. A lot of you guys are projecting the failure of your homeland. That's why none of you are there in your homeland. I'm in my homeland. I have nothing to be bitter about. We are in our homeland. This is our homeland. We built this place. This is our homeland. We ain't got nothing to be bitter about, especially to immigrant groups. You don't have anything for us to be bitter towards. What do you have that we're going to be bitter towards, sir? Go ahead, Musa. Elaborate.
Yeah. To respond, Tariq, I think there's a big difference. Like you guys have a history of you have a history of enslavement. We're very different, right, as Somalis. So I don't think we should go into comparisons or anything. I recognize the pain, and I'm pro reparations. Like I tell people, support the black community. You know, they've been victimized,
How
they've
was
been
your
enslaved. Don't insult them. Be nice to them. You know, this is what I preach, and I even tell my own community. You know, this thing of like, you know, even give them dawah.
how was your I'm gonna mute you. You're not just gonna talk now. You can say something. Like you have to be understanding towards us. How is your history in Somalia different from ours? Yeah, we got a history of slavery. You were colonized, which is a form of slavery. You were colonized over there, Musa. They came over there in small numbers and colonized your whole joint, sir. How is that different? That's worse.
Okay, so let me respond. So Tariq, you got to realize that Somalis as an ethnic group, and I actually saw this mistake. The guy that was speaking to you, he wasn't like, I don't know where he was coming from, but Somalis as an ethnic group, they occupy the largest amount of land in East Africa, total, something over 1 million square kilometers, right? So there's different people from different tribes. There was a tribal system there. So for example, the tribe I'm from, we actually we were like freedom fighters. I'm like an descendant of those who fought the imperialists, the Italians and the Brits, and so we fought them off and we took them out of our lands and we kept our religion, we kept our language. I think have you seen the West Africans? Like they were proper colonized because a lot of them, and I respect my brothers and sisters over there too, but they were completely like the culture got stripped from them and they speak French, a lot of them. Whereas we actually retained our culture, we retained our language, and praise be to God, right? That was God's will. And we were brave and we had that patriarchal culture which kind of, and the Islamic culture which helped us in that regard. So look, I'm not here to kind of compare and say we're better than you. All I'm
Down, no, slow down. You got tag team colonized. The Italians got a piece of that ass. The Britons got a piece of that ass. Y'all got tag team by colonizers, dude. And you just got them off your ass, what, in the 60s? Right? You just got them off your back. Let's put everything in the
Yeah,
right.
but Tariq, we aren't an anomaly, right? Like it's not like Somalis. There was the whole most of Africa got colonized, right? The Brits, and then all the world, South Asian. So I don't know like what you're trying to get there with.
Yeah,
And also, why would you?
you just got them
The
off
other
your
thing is,
the 60s.
let me
That's
finish.
what
Let
I'm
me
saying.
finish.
You just got free a few decades ago, brother.
Let me just make my point. Yeah, so Tariq, I was saying, I'm not here to
Uh,
compare and say. Clearly, I said don't be childish about it. Like you got you know this whole thing. You got two guys and two the Brits on your ass and all of that. Look, you guys were insane for 400 years, and I know and it's sad, right? And that's why I have that empathy. And a lot of African FBAs are in a lot of trouble right now. The community is rife with drugs and incarceration and so many issues. And I actually empathize with those things. I'm not here to compare and to put you down, which you're clearly doing. You see, so I hope you're not that
Nobody
childish.
put you down, sir. You're talking about you empathize with us. We got slavery off our ass. We built a whole nation and built the culture of this nation that's the most influential culture in the world, sir. And you're talking like you got something better going on. You just got them white supremacists off your bumper physically in the 1960s. They still control the economy to a certain degree. You understand? So yeah, this is what I'm saying. So you're
Yeah,
trying.
Tariq.
Go ahead.
I personally believe, yeah, Tariq, I personally believe that culture is really important. So, as Somalis, we've retained our culture, thank God. If I look at the Black American community today, you can say culturally, it's a community in crisis. You see the wokeism, transgenderism, all these issues, right? It's George Soros' agenda, and apparently, Tariq, I heard you fear the Jews. Is that true or false?
Really? In crisis, I see. Yeah, now you're just trolling now.
No, no, no. I promise. I heard you fear the Jews. I thought you're a strong black man that doesn't fear anything.
Trolling. See there, and then when you get lit up because you try to troll, and then
No, I'm not. I'm not insulting. I just asked the question. I heard you're scared of Jews. Is that true?
right, you're trying to troll and throw an insult. That's not a legitimate question.
No, that's not an insult. I said, are you scared of Jews? Of course, it's a legitimate question.
Are you afraid of fly swatters? Because that's what you got in your homeland. You got
You're not answering. You're diverting, Tariq.
no. You talking about. I'm afraid of the Jews. Are you afraid of the Arabs that's selling you over there? You still got
Do
slaves.
you love? Do
You wait. No.
you,
Now let's go. No. You still got slavery over there in your homeland. Y'all getting sent up there to North Africa. You talking about you empathize about some damn slavery and you're still being enslaved today in your homeland.
Tariq, let me respond to you. All right. So I think you want to go down the trolling list. I'll troll back. But look, Tariq, look.
No. I'm spitting facts. I'm spitting.
Look, Tariq.
You're
Tariq, I actually saw a video of you a while back
no,
where you were saying.
no. You're getting enslaved today in your homeland. That's why you ain't there. Y'all getting enslaved now. Talking about you empathize with us. Do you empathize with the people in your homeland getting enslaved now? Huh?
So look, Tariq, I feel like you're coming with the whole bitter card and getting very defensive.
Oh no. Because
Stop muting me. At least let me respond. Like I just want to say something important.
no. You're not gonna sit up here and talk about, oh, you guys were enslaved. You're enslaved. Talking about our culture is in crisis. Your culture is over there. People are starving and wallowing around the street with flies on them. And we're in crisis? Just the nerve. It's the nerve for me, sir. Really?
Tariq, are you denying that the black community is having a fatherless,
Well,
like absent father crisis?
it's still better.
Absent father?
It's still better than your homeland, sir.
No, we don't have that issue. We're not woke.
Yeah,
We don't have that issue. Somebody, I promise you.
it flies and
We're religious,
right.
very conservative. We're a very conservative society.
Yeah, we got a fatherless issue. You got a food issue. I'll deal with the.
Tariq,
I got it,
how about the gang issue, like the drugs also? It's very, very rife.
dude. We can live without fathers. Y'all can't live without food. That's why you have to leave.
No, the drugs, Tariq, the
Sir,
drugs. Like you guys have a
the cat and all of the drugs y'all use over there in Somalia and East Africa. The cat drug that's over there. Who you think you fooling, sir? A lot of the
yeah, but Tariq,
sir, no,
Tariq, with
nothing. Y'all strung out on cat over there, sir. What are you talking about? Where you at, brother? I don't have you muted.
okay, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Tariq. So, like I said, I'm not woke like you, where I get defensive.
Nobody,
Car is an issue, but it's a very.
no
Just let me respond. Calm down.
offensive.
You can take a deep breath.
I
Take a deep breath. We're having a
I
discussion.
don't get defensive by people who had to flee. I don't have to defend anything from that. Your fleeing speaks for itself, sir. You you
Tariq, you gotta
have
calm
the
down, man. Settle down. You're very like
nerve to talk about drug use over here, and y'all are strung out on cat.
you're insecure, Tariq. Your insecurities, like
You're strung out on cat in your homeland. That's why you're not there, sir. You're the one who had to flee. I didn't have to flee my homeland, sir.
Tariq. Why do you keep on muting me? Are you that insecure? You can't even let me.
Because I don't want to hear musty tether babble. And I don't want to hear you projecting over and over again. You're getting a slow roast. You're getting a slow bake. You're getting a slow lesson. Because, see, y'all think we don't know what goes on in your little failed homelands. We know what's going on. Fleeing,
Tariq,
fail.
Tariq. We don't have a drug issue like a.
The hell you don't. That
Let me calm down. Let me just
is the
right. We're having a discussion, right?
cop.
You didn't need to mute me to win.
Yeah,
You didn't need to mute me.
you ain't gonna lie. You got a drug problem in your homeland. That cat drug is popular in your homeland, and that's a problem. Y'all strung out on cat over there. Y'all high and hungry.
Will you let me get a word in, or should I just leave? Because it seems like you're very bitter,
I mean,
and you're just muting me.
you're gonna flee like you fled your homeland, but
Insecure, Tariq. And when I asked you about the Jews, you just went quiet.
only thing that's in is injera bread that you had to put in your backpack to flee. Okay, so don't project onto me, sir.
You love George Soros, Tariq, like your other blacks. You love George Soros.
Okay, you're just babbling, sir. You're just tether back.
No, just a question. Do you love Soros?
You're back.
Just a normal question.
Do you love Red Cross rice?
Tariq, I'll answer when you answer. Do you love George Soros? You love the
Do
Jews?
you,
You love the Jews?
do you love Red Cross rice from Sally Struthers?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I heard you're a house nigga, and you get paid by some Zionist.
If we're two niggas sitting in the tree, but you're a hungry nigga. I'd rather be a house nigga than a hungry one. You a hungry nigga, okay?
I'm a field nigga, Malcolm X. You're the
You're a hungry nigga, all right? Over there, belly big, starving, all right? I would rather
Tariq. Be like
I would rather be anything but a hungry nigga, and you're licking the gooch of Arabs, all right? You're an Arab ass kisser, and you hungry, flies all over the place, and you fleeing. So I would rather be anything other
you're clearly insecure. I ask you, do you love George Soros, and you're getting all insulting, man.
than
It's sad, man. You're a bit of FBA.
is you over there fleeing, living in Britain, mixing your injera bread with English muffins, sir. You putting pork and beans on your damn falafel.
I'm actually in Texas right
No,
now. I'm actually in Texas, to be honest.
no, you,
But anyways,
no,
Tariq,
you're not. No, yeah,
Tariq,
I don't believe that.
can I not?
I don't.
Why wouldn't you believe that? That's literally on my location.
I don't believe that, sir. I believe that you're somewhere in Britain driving an Uber.
No, I'm from Britain. Tariq,
Britain driving an Uber on the left side of the road, sir. I believe you're driving on the opposite side of the road. I don't believe you're over here whatsoever, sir. Lying tethers do lying tether things, and you are, sir, a lying tether. All right.
Tariq, was your father present? Was your father present at home?
Sir, do you have a birth certificate? Huh? What,
No, honest question. Was your father present?
what's your birthday?
Will you at least answer anything? Do you love George Soros?
What is your birthday, sir?
You love the Jews?
Is your birthday January 1st?
Was daddy present, or did you?
Okay. Did daddy give y'all a circumcision? Did they give your mama a circumcision and your little sisters?
Was daddy present, Tariq?
Yeah, but daddy, he wasn't fleeing like you were. My daddy didn't flee to a whole different country to drive.
Did your mom raise you,
My
Tariq?
daddy, I promise you, my daddy didn't flee 10,000 miles just to drive Uber. My daddy didn't have to do that.
Did mommy raise you?
No. Is your mama's titties ashy because she don't have enough sustenance to get breast milk? All right. Is that what's going on with your mom? Your mom didn't have enough strength to breastfeed you, so y'all had to drink.
Hey blacks,
Oh,
this guy's not a good role.
y'all had to milk a goat for your sustenance, and that poor goat. All right.
I just said, is your dad present? Why would you insult my mom, man?
Because your mom didn't have enough energy to breastfeed you. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you.
Tariq,
I'm
you need to stop muting me, and
no, sir.
we have a good.
Not going to babble. All you're doing is tether babble, sir.
Was daddy present? Just answer that.
Sir,
Let the audience know.
was your camel present right now? Do you have your camel with you when you fled? How did
Tariq, take a deep breath.
how,
Take a deep breath.
how did you get your camel on that plane? All right.
Was daddy present? Just answer the question.
Did Spirit Airline let you get that camel on? And what kind of moves did you make to get that camel on Spirit Airlines to get over there to Europe? I want to know that. Anyway, Musa, you're just saying the same thing over and over, so I'm gonna get you out of here. All right. Boy, these tethers got a lot of nerve. The tethers got a lot of nerve, boy. To be in these failed homelands to talk about drugs, you got a lot of damn nerve, man. They be strung out high as hell in those homelands. Who is this brother right here? Official D to Dre. What's up, D to Dre? Let me get D to Dre in here. We in here for a long time, by the way. What's up, D to Dre? What's up, brother? All right, official, hop on, man. I'll let you on. Hop on. Unmute your microphone, sir. All right. All right. Official D to the Dre. All right. You're not saying nothing, brother. Let me get you up out of here. All right. Anyway, man. A lot of folks in here, man. A very interesting conversation. Listen, everybody go to Rootwork Style because yeah, the phone calls got very musty. I can feel the must. Go to rootworkstyle.com to get the deodorant that will help all types of must. rootworkstyle.com. Also get my book, Foundational Black American Race Baiter, at officialfba.com, ladies and gentlemen. And also go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com to get the book Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Come on down to the Hidden History Museum today. We're open today. Come on down. Enjoy yourself.